Here we are, last day of the season. This is the WGL APAC-ASIA Gold Series, and this is the playoff day. My name is Susie Kim. This is Will Schroeder, and I can't believe it. We have come down to the very last day of the regular season.
That's right. It's the last day. We're going to find out who is coming to Korea, who is going to the offline finals. We've got two teams that are going to be coming, and we're going to find out who that second team is today.
Yep. All right. Let's take a look at the overview. I know it's been an entire season, and you guys have been probably following since the beginning, which was November 26th. And now here we are. Today is February 4th. And the whole tournament structure, as you guys know, this season they've changed it. It was a best of 9 with 4 maps instead of 2. And, with tiebreakers, obviously, the game rules, attack and defense, just like before, but battle time becoming 10 minutes and tank tier going up to 10, and so that makes it total tier points of 68.
That's right. Our map pool, we added a few new maps, Nirvanka, Prokhorovka, and Cliff. The point system no longer matters, but every team won 3 points for a win, 2 points by winning in a tiebreaker, 1 point by losing that tiebreaker, and 0 points for their losses. Now, that ended up really mattering, actually, this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on February 4th. Like, this is all coming to an end.
I can't believe it. I feel like the season has gone by really, really quickly. And, it's just been really nice to see all the teams progress. Some teams doing better than they did in the beginning, some teams actually kind of deteriorating, but over a course of time, I guess that's what we expect.
Yeah, that's like the natural way of things, and we have a new format, etc. So some teams are going to be stronger with this than other teams.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at the teams who participated in this Season 2 Gold Series. We had EL Gaming, who have shown us that they are the best so far. I mean, Season 1, they dominated. Season 2, they dominated. The Grand Finals last year, they dominated. And they're still on that streak. Then we had the Horsemen, Super Noobs, and Immortals. Horsemen up there, 3rd place so far. Super Noobs, 2nd place. I mean, these guys have been just powerhousing through this tournament. Immortals started off strong, kind of tapered towards the end. Not sure what the future holds for this team, but it'd be nice if we could see them back together and playing again.
Yeah, Karen Tiger being the team that actually ended up getting 4th place. Then we have PvP Super Friends, who was one of our other newer teams to the league, along with the Super Noobs. Did not perform up to their level, though. Team Efficiency, on the other hand, looked a lot better this season than last season and really improved towards the end. And then our other Japanese team, B Gaming, tying in points with Karen Tiger in 4th place, but at the end of the day, Karen Tiger actually advanced.
Yeah, so we were going to go ahead and explain that to you. I know on Monday when we wrapped up the season before the playoffs, we were informed that it was going to be B Gaming who make it to the 4th place spot. However, so the way that they did it, the rules were the relationship between the B Gaming and Tennis, as you guys can see here, they both have the same amount of wins and losses. Thus, they have the same amount of points. And so the way we were told is that we compare the two teams, see their win differential, and that became B Gaming. However, we were misinformed, and apparently what we do is how the win-loss ratio of all the battles played, everything over the whole season, and that comes down to Karen Tigers with a lot more points than B Gaming.
Yeah, so just like, for example, to explain just further a little bit what Susie said, if you win 5-0, then you get like a 5-point differential, whereas if you won 5-4, you only got 1 extra point there.
Right.
And those are the points that they added up at the end to actually decide it. So we were told the opposite, which was that we were doing it by direct comparison. So unfortunately, B Gaming fans, they will not be in this playoff, so we are going to have Horsemen versus Karen Tiger as our first match.
Yep, and like we said here, I mean, this is the way that the cookie crumbled this entire season. We had EL Gaming just showing strong play from the beginning. Super Noobs really surprising us as they came in as a new team this season and performing as well as they did. And yeah, Team Efficiency, they started off really at the bottom, but they just tweaked by, made 6th place. They're going to be able to, hold that position here in the Gold Series. And yeah, so I believe the notes were Karen Tigers had 53 wins, 40 losses, so that was a plus 13 differential, while B Gaming had 50 wins, 43 losses, and that only gave them plus 7. And that's why Karen Tiger are the ones to advance to the 4th place. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and see today's matchup. Here we go. Like we said, there's Karen Tiger, the 4th place team, versus Horsemen, the 3rd place team.
Yeah, and then after that, the winner will face off against Super Noobs immediately afterwards. So Super Noobs is going to be watching to see what tactics these players use on the first potentially 9 maps that we see. And then the winner of that match will go on with EL Gaming to Korea to actually play in the offline finals with Asia's champion as well.
Yep, and I'm not sure if the finals date has been released just yet, but that's going to be in the future. So keep your eyes out, guys, and make sure you follow Wargaming in Asia, and they'll be able to let you know when those finals are going to be. But yeah, so that's going to be our games today, and I'm really excited because this is going to be the top of the top.
Yeah.
These are the highest win ratio teams, basically.
Yeah, the only team we won't be seeing from the top, of course, is EL because they're already in first place. Yeah. But everything else we're going to be seeing is insanely high level. So today's going to be some really good matches. I know for like the past few weeks we had some no-shows and we had some games that were top level team versus bottom level team. So some weird games there for sure. But now we're going to see basically as close to perfection as it gets in Asia in these two best of nines.
That's going to be really exciting. So, I mean, already I think both teams are sitting and waiting. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk about these team rosters who are going to be representing third and fourth place. So first, our third place team. This is the Horsemen. Horsemen who have, played as a pack and very aggressively in Season 1. Here they come into Season 2 playing a lot more patiently with different strategies, and it's really paid off for them.
Yeah, they've really dominated in the Tier 10 meta, which is quite surprising based on how they played last season, but they've really slowed down their play. They've been a lot more patient. They've played some new members, for example, Dark DH Master being a great player. And all your classic members like Feluso, Archon, and Colin, they stayed in. They did well. Nunn, Jess Rex, Spencer, Sidonia Tommy. Gorilla. These players that we saw last season do well really changed their roles, but actually meshed together to form a really strong team. And I actually favor them to beat Karen Tiger in this first match.
All right, I am waiting. Maybe next year we'll be able to see Meat Bun play because I love that name and I wish I could call that out while I'm doing play-by-play, but unfortunately I haven't been able to. The other Karen Tiger, then I know there was a lot of drama going on. Who's making fourth place? Is it B Gaming? Is it Karen Tiger? And especially because they're both from Japan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there must be some sort of rivalry here between these two, and hopefully there's no bad blood. It was just a technical error. We just got some wrong information. But yes, Karen Tiger, this was the number 2 team last season.
Yeah.
And now here they are at number 4.
That's right. So they barely squeaked into the playoffs. Very close. I mean, we're looking at differentials because the exact, the point system with their wins and losses was exactly the same at, I believe, 24 points. So they were right dead even. Opolis was the star of the show last season. I know I checked already. He will be playing today as well. So Opolis fans get excited for that. But he didn't appear most of this season. Instead, it was really Polly, Dekamori Sanai, Aki, Pitsit, Tepco, and Shinoza, who are actually holding down the fort this season. So a different, star lineup of players, but they barely made it through. Let's see if today, on their most important day, they can continue to make it.
Yeah, and Opolis, he was definitely known for being on that Burt, back in Season 1. He's a very good SPG player, but again, he hasn't really shown in the first half of the season due to personal reasons, and now he's back. And I know he's the one, I found out he's the one who's been trying to do different strategies, batshot strategies.
Yeah, he's the one who's kind of leading the charge on changing the meta and making autoloaders the more standard norm. And honestly, when I was watching the beginning of the season, I thought that was going to shift to be the norm, but only Karen Tiger really committed to trying that, and it hasn't really worked out for them fully just yet. But we'll see as we go into today's matches if they want to try that or not.
And I would like to see what kind of new strategies that they bring today, or if they're just going to go with the tried and true, because it is a day that they need to really shine. They need to beat Horsemen, and then they need to beat Super Noobs if they even want to make it back to Korea again.
Now, they've chosen some really good maps. We're going to put the maps up on screen for you guys in just a moment.
Yeah, the maps for this first game.
Here
they are. It's going to be Steps first, then Cliff, then Muravanka, Himmelsdorf, and then our tiebreaker on Ghost Town.
Yep, just like last season, it was the Ghost Town map, but this time it doesn't get picked along with Himmelsdorf early, and I think that Karen Tiger wanted to avoid playing its Horsemen on those maps specifically because it's the best maps, I think, for Horsemen. But we're going to see a very aggressive series, starting off with Steps and Cliff, 2 brawl-oriented maps oftentimes. So we'll see if these two teams show us how they're brawling right now in those first games. Then when we get to Muravanka, that's when Horsemen has a chance to kind of show their technical, slower style.
It'll slow down for sure on Muravanka. We'll have to take a look at, like you said, it's going to start off as a brawl. I'm super excited for that. It's a good way to start the evening. But yeah, I think both teams are just about ready. I'm sure they're really dying to play at this point.
Yeah, I think so. This is such an important day. If you win this, you get to fly to Korea, you get to play in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants.
And last year we saw Karen Tiger. They were here, and I got to shake Opalik's hand because I really enjoyed the way he played last season. But hey guys, it looks like the game is ready. We're gonna head into set number 1. All right, welcome to the first game of the evening. Horsemen versus Karen Tiger. Horsemen on the attack first, and here are the tanks.
All right, taking a look at these tanks, really important to look at how they're going to play this first game. We'll get a better idea of how they're going to play this series, but 2 E5s for Horsemen, 3 Object 140s, and STB1 in the 1390, whereas Karen Tiger will bring those 2 113s, which you've seen basically only EL really running, then a 140, and then 3 TVPs, and then Opolis is going to run that T49. So an interesting lineup for both sides. I expected to see perhaps Karen Tigers try to run some bat shots in here, but they're going to stick with the TVP autoloaders instead.
Yeah, well, hey, they are still autoloaders, right? All right, right now we could see here Karen Tiger. They're going to go up the northern side towards the west along the railroad track. It seems that they want to be able to camp up, put up shop over in this area of the map.
Yeah. Let's see how Horsemen wants to play this, because Horsemen is a really defensive team. Even though we said the first 2 maps are pretty brawl-oriented, this one usually is, but in more recent times and also in the Tier 10 meta, it's a bit more patient. And because of Horsemen's patient nature, I think we will see, at least in Game 1, a slower game from them.
Oh, this is quite interesting. Okay, so we do see Opolis kind of keeping an eye out in base capture number 2. We have one of the 113s over by base capture number 1, but Karen Tiger seeming to be a bit more aggressive. They want to put up a defensive line that's very close. What I'm trying to say is they're going down further south than I think is necessary.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. They're not using the northeast, which is the more standard area to set up a defense. They're moving in a little bit more aggressively, perhaps hoping to catch one of the stray tanks of Horsemen, because Horsemen does like to split up on this map, and with E5s, you can definitely afford to do that. And we're going to see in this next few moments here how Horsemen wants to approach. The weak point for sure for Karen Tiger is that second base point, base capture number 2. Opolis is going to see this movement, but he's going to have to get his team to react very quickly, and here they come.
And I think they're going to be able to, yeah. I mean, maybe I just read that wrong. They went down a little bit further south in hopes that they'll be able to catch Horsemen on their way up to base capture 1, but after noticing that they're not there, and here's Opolis letting them know exactly where Horsemen are, they're just going to have to go over to the northeastern side of the map and take some shots.
Yep, taking a few shots across the way here. The 113s are really beefy tanks to bring to this map. It's like how last season we saw every now and then someone bring an IS-3 on this map, usually never 2. But bringing 2 113s here does give them a lot of, I guess, extra staying power if the fight goes longer, when we actually do have that initial, or that inevitable fight. But Horseman is really just trying to poke here.
All right, yeah, Archon taking a shot. Looks like Polly did take some damage earlier.
Just a small amount.
But so far, I mean, considering what a brawly map this could be, both teams playing it very safe. Colin takes a bit of damage as well, and now they're pretty much dead even. Oh,
now these 2 E5s might get totally surrounded here and destroyed if they're not careful. They're very aggressively sticking around, though the rest of the team is kind of coming in behind them.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And here come Karen Tiger. I don't know if they should be pushing here, but Polly taking a bit more damage, as is Dekamori, but their eyes are all set on Faluso.
Yeah, Faluso actually having to back off here, but he does do it very quickly. Now these TVPs need to do their damage, and they do it fast.
Here's the brawl. Archon is being focused fire. Did you see how much HP that took down? He got critically hit at that point. But yep, there we go.
Down goes Colin. Archon is still alive here, but we see Faluso still doing damage from the distance. And this is still a very close fight. Horsemen ahead in hit points. And the main reason why Karen Tiger is falling back right now is because they're out of rounds. They need to reload on those TVPs.
Oh gosh, yes. Spencer versus Opolis here. Opolis does go down. This autoloader is able to finish off his clip.
Yep, this is not looking good for Karen Tiger, though, because they've lost positional advantage here. And even though they are fully reloaded, they're losing tanks left and right. Tepco may be the next to fall. Great position here on None. He's actually blocking to keep the 140s alive. And still a good angle, actually, though, for Modame getting a nice shot there.
Yeah.
This could go either way.
This could go either way. This is a very close fight as of right now. But both teams really utilizing this terrain to their advantage. Seeing how they could block for one another and, just angling their tank in a way where they won't be able to take much damage.
Shinoz is trying to actually take out Spencer here, so he actually breaks off from the group, but Spencer's just running circles around him.
None and Gorilla, I think they're going to focus on Dekamori.
Oh, down goes Spencer. Nicely done by Tepco, but these 113s are really actually doing a lot of tanking up here at the front, but eventually they will get taken out if they don't.
Yep.
They don't
Dekamori and Modame both go down, and now Karen Tigers are down to 4 tanks. The Horsemen are down to 3.
Yep, 3v3 now. And it's all about the rounds on these TVPs, and they're all reloading right now, so this is a good opportunity for Horsemen to actually hunt them down. Shinoza actually is reloaded now.
Yep.
I misspoke earlier.
He can finish it off. Yeah, he goes ahead and takes out Sidonia Tommy, but Faluso from afar snipes him down.
Oh, if they could kill Tepco right now, that would be a huge move, because then they would actually outnumber a Key, which would make it much more difficult. Tepco trying to hide behind this bump.
The Key is in full rounds. He can come by and just unload. He's got 4. Oh dear.
Oh man, Gorilla might actually go down here. Oh, he dodges that shot.
Oh, wow.
Now it's 2v1, but they're both very low. Aki is on reload.
Oh my gosh.
He's on reload, so Gorilla is going to try to finish him off here. He needs to survive until he is reloaded. If he can reload, he should be able to beat Gorilla, but I just don't think Gorilla is going to allow it. This is such a close game.
It is, and he is on the hunt.
Oh, Aki down with 6 health left, and he's about to reload.
He's about to reload, but so is Gorilla.
Oh my god. Who's going to make the shot first? Oh, Gorilla gets the hit.
Gorilla gets that hit. That was very well done. Wow.
That was a really close game. Had Gorilla missed there, or actually, I think, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back on the replay. I actually think Gorilla shot second, but like, Aki just barely missed.
He just barely missed,
and so Gorilla killed him. That was so intense. I mean, we're looking at the third-person perspective, like zoomed out and stuff. But going around a corner like that with that hill there and actually making that perfect shot in that moment is so difficult to do.
Yeah.
Actually, in-game in first person.
Gorilla MVP for this game. Man.
That was crazy. Gorilla's always the last man alive.
It came down to the wire. Yeah, he's definitely a clutch player for this team. Yeah, so very, very close game 1, but I have a feeling this kind of sets the tone of how the rest of the games are going to go.
Sure, I think so too. Kind of a weird game because all the early game was positionally, I think, testing the waters, and then eventually they just fought without either team really fighting the way they wanted to. So it was really kind of a reflex-based win. It's like who had the better reflexes when the fight actually started, how quickly were Horsemen's tanks able to come up. The 113s were positioned really well to actually protect those TVPs, and I really do like Karen Tiger running those to kind of run their composition in a team fight-based like brawl scenario. But I think we will see them run them again, even on the attack now.
Probably, and again, it's the same map. They're just going to switch sides. Even though Karen Tiger were on the defense, they were still quite aggressive, and so we'll have to take a look and see how if they're going to be even more aggressive, right?
Yeah, Karen Tigers are very famous for not switching their tanks between rounds. So I wonder if they'll actually change that up today and be like a little bit more aggressive, or if they're just going to keep staying with that same lineup, because Horsemen will change their lineup if they expect Karen Tigers are going to play the same.
For sure. That's what I expect from both of those teams. Yeah, Horsemen are definitely going to change, I think. They'll need to if they're just be on the defense. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I would say so. Those E5s on the defense, not as good overall, I would say. Too slow. And
how many of,
they had 2 last game. And they're not like super slow, but they're not able to rotate defensively against a faster composition if Karen Tigers does change their tanks.
At the same time, right, Karen Tigers did have 113s, which are slower tanks, so I could see Horsemen still using slower tanks just in case.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think we're going to have to wait and see, like, as we get into the second game. If Horsemen wins this, they get a huge momentum advantage, and that becomes very scary going to Cliff.
Yes, it does, because Cliff is going to be a lot faster. It's probably the fastest map that we have. Just in, I don't know, I feel like no matter where you go, it'll always be a brawl on that map.
Yeah, pretty much. Even if it's like a slower brawl, it ends up being a brawl every single time.
And I love it. All right, guys, it looks like the second game is going to be ready. Let's head into the next game. Welcome to set number 2, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger. Horsemen took that first game, and now Karen Tiger are on the attack.
All right, let's take a look at these tanks. I'm going to look at Karen Tiger's tanks first. Same lineup.
Yep, that's what we expected from them.
And for Horsemen, it's basically the same. They switched out their STB for a Leopard tank, which we see very rarely kind of come in. It's kind of like as medium of the road as it gets.
So both teams kind of going with the same lineup.
Yeah, basically. It's interesting that we see a Leopard instead of the STB because the STB we saw last game really did some serious blocking. The Leopard can stay alive longer overall, but isn't going to be able to block somebody like that.
Okay, Horsemen already just getting in line. This is a very standard defensive position that we've been seeing these teams do. They're going to go ahead on the northeastern side of the map and kind of spread all along, make sure that they have eyes on base capture 1 and 2. And Karen Tiger here, you can see that they're all kind of moving as a pack. This is different. Spencer taking some damage already, drive-by shooting.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of information that they are moving together, so this is going to allow Horsemen to set up in a more standard location than what we saw Karen Tiger do last game. As you were mentioning, you know, they aggressively moved to the west first and then kind of came back to this, whereas Horsemen is just going to start with this sort of position. Notice the 113s are out in front. They are slower, so they're going to take a while to get where they're going, but they're always in front because they're going to help give some protection to those TVPs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, here are the TVPs. They're going to actually fall back into this little rocky ridge area.
Yeah, it's funny because this position leads me to believe Karen Tigers thinks that Horseman is going to attack them, but there's no way Horseman 2016, like the slow Horseman, is ever going to do that. And they're on the defense, so
yeah.
Horseman is probably happy to just let this clock burn.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that Karen Tiger are trying to accomplish by putting all their tanks all the way at the bottom of this map here. Yeah, here they are.
One thing that they could be trying to do is to trick Horsemen into thinking they're doing a bum rush for base capture number 1 because they can't see anybody and they're like, oh, maybe they're going over there, but...
And you can see Obelisk is headed over there right now.
Yeah, it's still a weird move, but I think that's what they're going to do. Then Obelisk is going to show himself. Then maybe that forces Horsemen to react and move in that direction, and that's when they swoop in and take control of base capture 2. That's my theory.
Or they're just going to try to shoot from there. I mean, it seems that they're positioning themselves so that they have a good angle on members of the Horsemen, but that seems really far away.
It's really, really far away. It's going to be very difficult to actually hit accurate shots at that range. Obelisk is going to send this T-49 around the corner. He's a very small tank, so you can actually sit in that base capture somewhat safely.
He's going with the 113. There's definitely Polly right with him to give some support. But yeah, it does seem like they're going to try to get into that base capture number 1.
I think this is a bait. Oop, down goes that little rock, or that little wooden thing that blocks you, so you can't use that anymore. But
it does seem like bait to me, obviously.
Spencer's going to be able to see him, though.
Here we go. Base capture does begin, and it is Obelisk who's going to sit in it. Oh, he's just teasing them.
Oh, I think he almost wanted to make look like he drove through it, so that there's a lot of movement going on to trick them. I think this is a smart plan, but I don't know if Horseman's going to fall for it. This is really interesting. I think Karen Tiger is waiting for a moment to just dash in.
Yeah, well, Obelisk does, there we go. Obelisk is taking a bunch of damage, so he is going to go down real quick. Archon does finish him off, and while all the Horsemen are faced over towards base capture 1, here come the cavalry. Karen Tiger gonna head up, see if they can get to base capture number 2, but I have a feeling Horsemen know this.
Yeah, I mean, I think they read the situation correctly, but I think Horsemen is really just trying to, or rather, Karen Tiger is really trying to use their burst composition with all these autoloaders to burst down some of these tanks quickly. The E5s are probably going to be the first targets. They're going to be the first tanks they encounter, too. Oh, this is such a risky play.
Oh, that is risky. Shooting over at Gorilla misses, however. Gorilla sees him, takes that shot. Oh, gosh.
As you can see, it's a pretty bad angle for Gorilla. Like, he doesn't have a lot of visibility here, but the rest of the Horsemen are starting to see and connect with the Karen Tigers. I think their plan has failed.
Yeah, Horsemen, I mean, I like this. Gorilla's been taking shots and connecting while no one can connect on him.
Notice everyone's ignoring Polly, too, because his damage output is so low, and he's not with the rest of his team, so he can't really do anything over there.
Yeah, Modame is taking a little bit of damage as well. There goes Shinoza. That's the first autoloader that's going to go down.
This is looking really bad for Karen Tiger. Pauly being out there alone just is not doing anybody any favors right now.
No, not at all. He's just trying to distract the rest of the team, maybe?
Yeah, look at this. Again, a shot of Gorilla struggling to hit people, but still in a good enough position to where he gets a little bit of extra vision.
Yep, Gorilla goes ahead and takes down Modame.
And this is like basically the beginning of the end here as Horsemen 5K ahead in hit points. Not a single tank has fallen. Pauly can just be cleaned up at their leisure. And again, don't forget they're on the defense, so they don't have to hunt these tanks down either.
No, they don't. They could just take a nice leisurely stroll. Oh, look, there's a tank. Let me shoot at it, you know. There's no sense of urgency for sure. But there goes Pauly, there goes Tepco. One by one they fall. Karen Tiger left with 2 tanks left. And soon it will be won.
Looks like it's going to be that 7-0 perfect game here for Horsemen in game 2. Really nice read on what Karen Tiger was doing. That bait was read like a book, and Aki is just going to sit and surrender. It looks like.
There's nothing that he could do at that point. Horsemen going to take a very, very convincing game number 2. Like you said, perfect game. None of their tanks dropped.
Yeah, it was really a nice tactic by Karen Tiger. But if I, as like the commentator just watching, can figure it out that quickly, I think Horsemen can too. And when you send just an IS, or sorry, a 113 over there with that M49, just sits in the base capture, you see him, you're like, I don't know about this. We haven't seen any of their tanks all game long.
Yeah.
It probably isn't because they're all about to run to the base capture. It's probably because they're trying to trick us. And then Gorilla saw them early on, then everybody turned around.
Again, Gorilla the MVP. This guy really knows how to work this map, and he really understands how his opponent is playing.
And also, Pauly coming with Opolis there really kind of made the bait like a bit harder, because then you see 2 tanks over there and it's a 1-1-3. You're like, oh, maybe they're going to put both 1-1-3s in there with Opolis, and this is a big problem. But then once they read the bait, they just ignored Pauly. Pauly was like slowly trying to come back to help people, and by the time that he was back, like everyone else was dead, and Pauly was just in the middle of the map, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about Pauly.
Oh yeah, there's
Let's
that
kill him."
guy. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like there is a bit of a player change. Karen Tigers are going to take down Tepco and put in Hawami for this next map, and the next map is going to be Cliff. Again, I think this is going to be a very brawly game.
Yeah, I think so too. It's not that Horseman has been out like battling, like out brawling Karen in these maps. Like I think there's out tacticking them. Like their strategy was better in both games.
Them?
Something like that. The strategies were better, okay? But the first game, like Karen almost beat them when it came to the brawl. So I think Karen is hoping for the best when it comes to this map to get those 2 points back to tie us up, so that they can actually then go into the 4th map and eventually try to win this series, because right now it's like, oh, 2-0 is a bad momentum situation.
Yeah, the momentum situation is not very good for Karen Tiger at all. And like you said, they are probably waiting for Himmelsdorf because they do better on that. But they still have to get through Murovanka first.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough series for Karen Tiger at this point, but we'll see what sort of tanks they bring to the map here on Cliff, because they're normally known to bring autoloaders. They're bringing all bat shots. They're bringing all TVPs. They're bringing a combination of bat shots and TVPs. Whereas I think Horseman might just try to build a beefier lineup to counter that, and have a lot of Object 140s with it. We might even see like a few 215Bs in here, and some either that or maybe like an STB 1 or 2 just to have that extra tankiness, so that when the autoloaders start flying, they've got enough staying power to actually outlast that. And when they're on reload, end up picking them off.
All right, I'm looking here. It looks like some of the players are ready. Someone had to go to the bathroom. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of envious of them, because even if we have to go to the bathroom, we kind of can't.
That was a quick bathroom too. Oh my God.
Is he back?
He literally said, "Be right back, bathroom," and then in the timestamp 7 seconds later, he said, "Okay, I'm back." I'm like, I don't think he went.
It could be like a jar. Anyway, let's leave that one. All right, guys, let's get into game number 3. All right, guys, welcome to Cliff. This is set number 3, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger, to fight for that spot, to fight against Super Noobs. We have Horsemen with 2 wins, and they are going to be the ones on the attack.
So Horsemen's only running 2 TVPs, but they are going to bring one of those STB-1s. Instead of bringing any of the heavier lineups, they're just going to stick with Object 140s and the Bat Shot, actually, for extra damage. And Karen Tiger is going to be running, again, 2 1-1-3s. So like we always joke about Karen Tiger sometimes just doesn't even change their lineup from map to map.
Yep.
It's a very similar lineup to what they had last game, except they have 4 TVPs this
and
time.
And Obelisk is loving that T49. Apparently that's just what he's going to be playing on for the rest of this game. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. He'll probably change. But
I hope so, if we go into Muravanka. But
all right, guys. Well, Karen Tiger, they're going to go ahead down into the arena area right in the middle of the map. See if they can find that brawl. None does get caught out a bit. Loses about half his HP. But the rest of Horsemen, they actually decide to take the road on the western side of the map. And here they are. They're just going to come up this middle pathway. And I like this middle pathway because of the big rock formation in the middle that provides them such good cover before going to the lighthouse.
Yeah, this is actually a really good angle for the Horsemen. Look at this. They're basically lying in wait.
Yep. And now Karen Tiger, they want this fight. You know they want a brawl, but I'm not sure if them coming into it is going to be a good idea.
All right, well, Dekamori is taking the brunt of the damage here, but these 2 1-1-3s are absorbing so much damage that actually the TVPs had a lot of opportunity to do damage. Dark DH Master goes down, but Opolis falls as well. Now, this is the moment when Horseman needs to capitalize on this window while the TVPs are reloading, but they're actually taking out the 1-1-3 instead, which knows it comes from behind, too.
I think at this point, they just really want to get rid of anything that they possibly can, see if they can win this very fast. Even though Karen Tiger are on the defense, they're the ones who are being super aggressive right now. And I don't know if that was the best idea. 3 Horsemen in a row go down.
That's a 3v2 now.
But still a 3v2.
Aki is about to be out of rounds, and Modame is currently out of rounds, so the only one who's left to do damage is Hwami, right? We're not seeing him on camera, but okay, he's over there. Actually, all 3 are on reload.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm not sure if that was the best course of action for Karen Tiger.
Gorilla, can he make the shot, Susie? Can he do it?
Yes, because it's he missed it.
That actually buys a lot of time for the rest of the Karen Tigers, and Feluso is going to go down on the other side of the screen. Oh my god, look at this, Aki juking and jiving, perfect wiggles.
Ooh, right around this rock. Oh gosh. Wow, that is some tank control.
Wow, really well done, and that's actually going to be a win for Karen Tiger. They're going to take their first score here.
I was going to say, you know, to be honest with you, I still don't agree with going that aggressive because they're on the defense. There's no need for them to go that aggressive.
The real big problem, I feel, was the 1-1-3s absorbed too much damage, and then they couldn't do anything from there. Down goes Gorilla, the last man again.
Oof. Karen Tiger going ahead and winning that first set. Like we said, massive brawl. And you know what? Yes, I don't agree with Karen Tigers doing that because they're on the defense, but because they're on the defense, I think that's why they did it. Horsemen just didn't expect Karen Tigers to come in that strong.
Yeah, Karen Tigers have, like, I don't know, to a certain extent, like, removed almost strategy from the playing field, and they're just simply going to rely on their compositions alone. And they're like playing this game like they're playing a MOBA or something. They're like, all right, tanks at the front, like the carries at the back. Okay, like that's how they're approaching these battles. And then that last battle, they're positioning with their 1-1-3s just absorbed so much of the damage of the Horsemen there that eventually their TVPs were just left freely, even in between like object 140 shots to do so much damage. And then they just crushed them with the superior numbers there, and things started to really snowball into their control.
Right. Well, I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure Karen Tiger will go with the same lineup.
I would say so.
And it'll probably still be a huge brawl where they come charging in.
Yep.
But I feel like Horsemen might be better prepared for it this time, maybe?
Yeah, we also saw that None took a ton of damage early on that bat shot, which definitely did not help their cause because that was one of their biggest damage dealers they had because they only brought 2 TVPs to the map. So losing that early on, losing that hit point chunk early on was a big problem. I would say I think we're going to see maybe the same lineup from both teams. I think Horseman is going to play around the 1-1-3s a little bit more cautiously though this time. And
maybe just try to get rid of the threats first instead of focusing on the 1-1-3s.
Like, yeah, if the 1-1-3s are at the front, then just don't engage them and just back off and try to find another angle. That's what I would guess is going to be the plan of action here.
Probably. And looks like both teams are. I'm going to cheat a little bit and take a look. Yep, it doesn't look like there's much of a tank.
Doesn't look like it.
But both teams are ready. Let's take a look. Map is loading, and this is going to be the second game on Cliff. Here we go into game number 4. Set number 4, Horsemen versus Karen Tigers. Horsemen with 2 wins. Karen Tiger go ahead and take a win. And now they're the ones on the attack.
So the lamps are dead.
Exactly.
The same.
Oh, there's an RU251.
Yeah, the RU251 switched for the life of me, I can't remember what he was playing last
Was
game.
it a 1390?
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it's the exact same, and Karen Tiger running to the T, the exact same lineup. Obviously, we have switched sides now. Let's see how Karen Tiger wants to use these 113s this time. As you know, that's been the crux of their strategy: defend their autoloaders.
All right. Similarly, Karen Tiger all running up towards the brawling arena. Once again, the area between the big rock formation and the lighthouse. They're going to get in there and see who they can catch out. Maybe it's Spencer. Opalisk and Spencer both climbing the mountain. Who's going to be the king of the mountain? Oh, might be Spencer because Opalisk is getting shot down from afar. None on that Batchat, really trying to do some damage early on.
Really good accuracy. He also knows the point in which to stop firing and to let Opalisk just kind of hide there. Spencer is also going to give up the position. He knows that trying to chase Opalisk here is going to be a futile endeavor. And we do see that the Horsemen are now moving around the west side of the map.
They're going to come around that rock formation, like we said, up that path through the west. And I don't know, not sure. They might just kind of stick around and wait, use that rock formation to provide some cover for them. But this time around, Karen Tiger not charging in.
Yeah, notice the position of the 113s again, always at the front.
Ooh.
And, Shinoda taking some damage. Also, Spencer is still on the high ground. He has vision of everyone.
I take that back. It looks like they are charging in now. There's 4 horsemen right behind this rock formation. Opalisk is going to be the first one to go down.
They're really just trying to plow their way through with these 113s, but this time I think Horsemen really just getting too good of, they got so much free damage.
They're ready. Horsemen, oh gosh, Archon though.
What happened here? Suddenly these 3 tanks were left alone. Okay, here come the tanks from the other side, but with these 3 tanks being left alone, it's a 5v3. Karen Tiger picks up a free kill on Archon. And now they're on reload, so actually it looks like Horsemen will eventually wear this out. Dekamori probably just going to be ignored here. A key is trying to escape.
Wow, Horseman with very, very little HP. About 100. Oh, let's make that 0. I was going to say he was going to get away, but not so much. Dekamori took a critical hit there.
Yeah, and I think he's actually going to be eliminated with... Oh, Gorilla goes down. First time he died, not last.
Wow. It's about time. It's okay. Let's let the guy have a bit of a break.
Yeah, he needed to take a little bit of rest. Oh, God, Hawami, I'm so sorry, man. I think None is going to Shrek you.
Oh, Hawami's like, should I drop down? Should I go? What should I do?
It's a lose-lose situation, I think.
It is a lose-lose situation. He is just going to take that damage.
I think even his treads weren't operational there on top of that for a second.
And he had 2 shots left. Spencer goes down, but you know what? It's a 3v1.5.
Yeah, like Dekamori is dead by a shot from Faluso here. 3, 2, 1, he's dead.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know how they missed. Dark DH is going to finish him instead.
That's the
Oh
sound
my
of
God, Dekamori is
there
like...
we go.
Dekamori's like, nah, you guys will never kill me.
Do you like my sound? That was my explosion sound.
Yeah, it was actually, you should just be the sound effects.
Maybe I should. Maybe I'll do a voiceover.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, you can get a voiceover. We'll talk to Board Gaming about it.
Yeah, that. You know.
Oh, None is charging down.
Oh, that's so funny.
And there you go. There you have it.
He goes down, but a key. There's nothing he can do. Again, I think. Oh, he wasn't the last one standing at steps before, and he just like stood there like, well, there's nothing I can do.
He just he accepted defeat there, which I think is often the right thing to do.
Yeah. Don't drag on the game longer than you need to, especially when you know that there's no way it's going to be a 1v4 or 1v3. So yeah, all right. Karen Tiger did manage to get 1 game off, but I think it was just because of that surprise factor.
Yeah, this time when the 113s charged in, Horsemen put off a ton of damage onto them and then split into an arc and were ready to kind of catch them like in a net.
Yeah.
And they just tried to plow through the 113s. Did not work. I think Karen Tiger having a lack of patience because they were on the attack in that game. But I think actually, if I had to guess, I think we'll see the exact same lineup of tanks from Karen, minus Opalisk. He might even go for like an SPG on this map. I don't know.
No, why don't we just put him on the T49 again? Might as well.
Well, that's oftentimes it seems like how Karen Tiger pick their tanks. Like We had the tank list copy pasted from last time. Should we change one, or should we just press Control V Enter and like just sit there and wait in the lobby?
I think it's a Control V Enter.
I think that's probably like what they're gonna do.
I think so too. So we're going to go on to Muravanka. Again, we knew that Cliff and Steps was going to be fast. Muravanka, though, could be a little bit of a slower paced game.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Depends on how Karen Tiger wants to play this, because I know Horsemen will play very defensively on this map. That's how they kind of roll with things.
Karen Tiger may not, though.
They may not.
I don't think so. Just the Karen Tiger that we've been seeing this season, they've like swapped sides almost.
Yeah.
They're super aggressive. They're the same tank lineups. They just want to try some like crazy things. The whole, autoloader thing.
Yeah, they've like totally switched roles. I have to agree. Like, it's kind of like that they've kind of like flip the coin on each other's roles. So let's see. I'm looking at the lineup right now, and I can tell you guys, I will tell you already, spoiler alert for Karen Tiger, they're running the exact lineup, including
Control
the T49.
V. It's cut and pasted.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, guys. Well, looks like those are going to be the tanks. I think Horsemen are going to come with a different lineup, though. We'll take a look in just a second. We have the game ready on Muravanka. Let's get into game number 5. Set number 5, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger. Horsemen with 3, Karen Tiger with 1. Karen Tiger going to attack with the same exact tanks. I think today is just like a day where they want everyone to sit on the same tank.
Yeah. Just looking too, like I don't think anyone has switched roles.
No, they haven't.
For Horsemen, they're going to run 2 E5s, an STB, 2 140s, and a Bat Chat, and a 1390. So similar to what they were doing on Steps, but a much more well-rounded lineup for the map. Instead of E5s, I expected them to maybe run 2 15Bs, but looks like E5 is the flavor of the week in playoffs here.
E5 is the flavor of the week.
So with these 113s, Karen Tigers are again going to try to rely on them to engage, which means they're probably going to move as 6 and try to ambush the Horsemen from an angle.
Well, it looks like here, yeah, everyone is going to move together. It is Obelisk on that T49 again. He's going to go ahead and scout out a bit more, head out forward. Hopefully he doesn't get caught. But he has been taking a few shots. You can see that he's reloading.
Yeah, he didn't hit anybody. Those positions for Horsemen, they actually take the high ground as much as possible to get a larger vantage point because nothing is known yet about how Karen Tiger is moving. They're moving, again, as I mentioned before, all as 6, and they're going to try to come over and set up a good engagement.
All right, well, Obelisk obviously was able to say, hey, there is no one around this base capture. However, here's Spencer. He's hiding in a bush, keeping his eyes wide open. Dekamori's sixth sense goes off. And much slower of a game than we saw on Cliff.
Yeah, but here come those TVPs around the corner. Oh my god, Spencer just dodging bullets quite literally.
Yeah, but they know there must be a small little tank in that bush because it's probably the place that they would hide themselves.
Yep. Spencer did eat 1 piece of damage, but because he didn't panic, they still don't know for sure if he got hit or not. All right, Feluso is starting to get some visuals on some of these tanks. Colin,
and so is Colin.
Colin's somehow not being penetrated there on that E5. Hawami spinning all of his rounds on Colin and only doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, everyone just kind of trying to chip away at one another, but the way that it's positioned, it doesn't seem that there's much being done here.
Yeah, like Karen Tiger got the better trades overall, but they're on attack, so they need to do better than that. Spencer does get hit again.
He does. And he needs to get out of there before. Oh, he tried to hit Modame, wasn't able to. Oh wait, that wasn't Spencer.
Yeah, it was just over his shoulder, but he actually moves away. Oh god, he almost walked into around there.
He does need to move away.
He's really just trying to be the eyes of his team right now.
Horsemen on that high ground in the village. But yeah, you can see that they're all clumped together as well. Again, they're the ones on defense. Like he said, they play a much more slow, patient game, and they're just trying to catch whatever Karen Tiger throw at them.
All right, this is definitely, the longer this goes on, the better it goes for the Horsemen.
That is definitely for sure. We're under the 7-minute mark now for this round.
With those 113s, when you run them in a composition like this is why they're not meta picks, they're Karen Tiger picks, is because when you have a plan like this and it doesn't work out, then you have to go somewhere else, right? You have to kind of start over from ground zero, and look how long it takes them to go across the map. It's taking them like a minute and a half to get from where they were in an aggressive position at base capture 2. Now they're like, and no one cares about where they are land at the north part of the map. It's taking them so long to transverse across. If we were back at the 7-minute timer meta, this would never fly. We'd be down to like almost like 4.5 minutes right now.
Hey, at least our TVP is heading over there and not like IS4s.
Or actually, I misspoke earlier. We'd be at like 3 minutes right now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not IS4s, but they are, you know, they take a long time to transverse the map. Transverse. Transverse is like, I don't know, when you're traversing the map in Converse, I don't know.
All right, Obelisk using the silo to hide.
Yeah,
Yes.
he avoids damage so far. Archon trying to get a blind shot on him.
But again, yeah, I mean, Karen Tiger just they're rotating around the map, which is great, but clock is still ticking, and the game clock is down to, 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, this position here is like it's all the damage that Karen Tiger has in a tiny little clump, all in the B1's quadrant. But with that group of tanks, like, they need to focus fire. They need to do some EL level focus fire on like Feluso right now.
Here come the TVP crew.
This is such a shark attack type tactic where it's like, surprise, TVP's in your base, what are you gonna do?
Oh yeah, but they're spotted right away. They're gonna try to focus Feluso down. Feluso maybe get caught out. He's gonna die.
But look at the trade here. It's way better for Horsemen already.
This trade is not very good.
All right, a lot of tanks taking damage here. No one is dying. Horsemen keep Feluso alive for now. Base capture is started with a 1-1-3, mind you, so that's going to be strong. And Dekamori is almost here. Horsemen need to regroup and get a better position here while these TPs are on reload. All 4 of them. Okay, Hawami just reloaded.
Yeah, they did. And they are, they're all chunked down quite a bit. Modame, some more just now. Same with Shinoza. And these Object 140s having a quicker reload time than the TVPs, obviously.
Yeah.
I really feel like they would be able to do a lot of damage. Feluso does go down.
Feluso does go down. But still a decent position for Horsemen because Polly has been shot. The base has been reset. It's reset again. Modame goes down. Polly will go down next, I believe, once Gorilla is reloaded. He's trying to get behind this corner before that happens. He does survive.
Oh, he does survive.
Colin might just wipe him out here, though.
Oh, none falls. And there's only 4 members of Horsemen now, if you think about it. But, there's only 4 members of Karen Tiger at the same time.
Yeah, and again, these reload timers are an issue here. Hawami is safe while he's reloading. Obelisk is one of the 4 members alive, too, which, remember, he doesn't do much damage at all. If Dark DH or Gorilla can kill Hawami, that's huge here. And then Obelisk does get a nice hit off onto Archon.
But yeah, 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Again, if Horsemen can just hold on to this and eliminate, I think Dekamori is going to be the next one to go. Here he goes. Archon rams into him, finishes that off, and now it is a 2v4. Gorilla is barely just alive, but we know Gorilla, he could do quite some damage even with 89 HP.
It looks like Aki is going to use all his rounds to try to kill Archon. Obelisk is dead. Aki fails in killing Archon, so now he's actually on the run.
Again, the last tank for Karen Tiger. I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes and stands still.
Yeah, I mean, he can't kill these. He could, if it was him versus Archon and Gorilla, he could maybe get the kill, but versus 4, not going to happen.
Nope, and Dark DH go ahead and secure win number 4 for Horsemen.
They're on match point now as we switch sides, and Horsemen will be on the attack. Or excuse me, on the attack, that's right. Now, this burst damage composition that Karen Tigers has built has not impressed me. Like, there was the one game on Cliff, like game 1 on Cliff, game 3, where they won their first map, where I looked at it and I go, oh, okay, this worked out. You had the tanks blocking, the Horsemen just shot all the rounds into your 1-1-3s, and they couldn't break through, and then you had all that free TVP damage. Everything else they were doing, if I had to put it, like, describe it with one word, I would say gimmicky, like trying to sneak their tanks on the out-of-bounds line, like around the edge. Maybe we'll catch you, we'll kill Feluso, but the whole time, everyone on Horsemen knows they're doing these shenanigans, and, like, they've got one tank looking in every direction. Feluso spots them, everybody turns around, everyone gets in position, and they get the better trades. And then when you have a lineup full of TVPs like this, when you're on reload, it doesn't matter if you're up 5 tanks, you know, like they can't do anything for such a long period of time that the Horsemen can pick their targets however they want, and they could just, you know, one by one, piece by piece, destroy them all.
Yeah. Horsemen being on the attack, I don't know. They probably won't be as defensive. I think at this point they've gained enough momentum. They know that this is match point for them. If they win this, they go ahead and play against Super Noobs in hopes that they are the victors of that fight. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be a little more aggressive.
I think so too, but I think they're going to do it very patiently, and I think they're going to try...
Patient aggression.
Yeah, like I think they're going to try to use their E5s to be the spotters, and they're going to use the rest of their tanks to try to pick off the TVPs first. They need to make sure they can ignore the 113s, because that's like what they don't want to be shooting at when the fight starts.
Probably. So it looks like the game is ready. Wow, this is... I kind of appreciate this. They're...
Copy-paste tanks, man. I love it.
Copy-paste tanks.
Same life as before, copy-paste it.
Pretty sure that that's exactly what they're going to do. All right, guys, let's get into the next game on Muravanka. Welcome back to Stormy Muravanka. This is set number 6, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger. Horsemen, match point, one more win, and they will go on to face the Super Noobs in the playoffs right now. And copy-paste it is.
Copy-paste on both sides. Just looking for any inconsistencies, but nope. Well, let's see how Horseman wants to play this. Let's focus on their movements, because we already know that Karen Tiger's going to try to set some weird ambush with the 113s at the front.
I really think Horsemen are going to be a little more aggressive here, and right now you can see that they are traveling as a pack. This is what they were doing last season, and here they are going to see if they can finish off this season with a bang, with a crash into houses.
Yep, that's basically the start of it.
Yep.
Using the silo for cover for their 140s as they try to use their great accuracy at range to try to pick these tanks off.
Ooh, Spencer does take a bit of damage as he's driving by through the little huts in this village here.
If that was a Super News autoloader, he would have been dead, but he does escape. Now, I think that this base capture attempt is really not what Karen Tiger is expecting, and I think they're going to struggle to respond. They're sending a few of their TVPs to the south. Looks like 2 of them, 3 of them are going to the south, and they're going to try to get an angle here.
Yeah, well, Horsemen are already... Oh, wow. Base capture's at 15 seconds.
This is just a tactic to try to bait Karen Tiger to attack, because they know they're not going to win this in 10 seconds. They're just forcing a response.
I don't know. I think they may. They're forcing a response, but 5 seconds to go.
Well,
They've got pretty good cover, too.
If Aki does not get his butt over there, it looks like they might just win.
Oh,
reset at the last second.
Nunn and Spencer both getting reset. Polly goes down during this interaction, though. Base continues to go back and forth to 50 seconds.
Karen Tiger's basically just,
wow.
They got pulled apart by Horseman's aggressive move here. You were exactly right. They were much more aggressive. They pulled the TVPs away from the 113s where they're safe, and then they just got good trades off on them. Now, this game is not over yet, but this is a good plan by Horseman.
They got down to 0 seconds, man.
It really makes me feel like they're really understanding their opponents quite well.
All right, Faluso does go down. Huami is able to take that shot from afar.
So the reload timers are what you want to pay attention to now, Tanks fans, because that's going to determine this game, how they use their rounds. Because as you can see, they're up a tank, almost up like 2 tanks here, but because they're all on reload, they can't do anything. Look, Aki and Opalisk are like slowly sculling away. Shinoza is now ready, Madame is ready, but they need to find an angle here.
Nunn is going to get hit right here, though, and I feel like once Nunn goes down, that might be an issue. It is a 3v5.
Yep, Colin's getting blown up here as well.
Wow, I think Karen Tiger reacted pretty well. They got very lucky. 1 more second, and Horseman would have been able to secure that base capture.
Yeah, it was very, very close. I don't see any way of Horseman taking this. Gorilla and Archon, a good duo here to actually challenge them.
I was going to say, though, it's Gorilla on an STB. He may be able to. If these... Okay, maybe not Archon so much.
He's just in a bad position. Gorilla's going to try to take a key out
Oh,
with him.
yeah,
The two
but
last
Aki,
standers.
yeah, Aki has full rounds now. There's no way Gorilla's going to be able to survive this. And one more. Go for it, Aki. He gets it. Gorilla goes down. Karen Tiger will take their second win.
So, bringing it back a little bit here, but I feel like Horsemen unnecessarily aggressive in a lot of ways. I think the idea was really smart, and I do think that it was a great way to pick the lineup of the Karen Tigers apart. But I think instead of, I think they thought that they were actually going to win by base capture. I think that was never their plan. I think they were trying to pull them apart, and then they were like, well, we might just
this.
win.
Yeah, we could do this.
They're not hitting us. So then they tried to hide instead of just killing a key. It was like a key versus 3, and if they just shot at a key and blew them up, then they would have probably started to win the game as a result. But they got greedy. They tried to win by base capture and tried to hide behind that corner. That gave Karen Tigers more time to get their 1-on-3s together, get into position. But now we're going to Himmelsdorf, so get ready for the longest game of the series.
Well, I was going to say, Himmelsdorf, this is what we had said earlier. Once Horsemen are able to, not Horsemen, Karen Tiger get on Himmelsdorf.
Maybe they could come back. I think the map choices were good for Karen Tiger in that if I were Karen Tiger, even though Karen Tiger is quite good on Himmelsdorf, I wouldn't want to play Horsemen here. But let's see. I mean, Karen Tiger did well on this map last season. It was, again, one of our most popular maps last season as well. And on that, last season it was like a development that happened slowly over time because we had 4 games on each map, and now it's only 2. All Horseman has to do is win 1 game, and I can't remember right now which one is attacked first. We're going to find out in a second. But Horseman, I think, is going to play very carefully. They're just going to try to get that 1 win. And if Karen Tiger runs the same lineup on this map, they're dead.
If they run the same lineup again,
it will never work.
I will facepalm. I will straight up facepalm because
TVPs do not belong on this map. There's a sign on the front of this map that says no TVPs allowed, only 5100s and bat shots allowed for autoloaders on this map. 5100s are banned after what happened last season. Okay, that's what it says when you enter the map.
Hawami is coming out for the team now, and Pitsit, I believe, is coming in for Karen Tigers. I like how they're rotating everybody, giving them a last chance, last shot at playing for Season 2 here in the Gold Series. Yeah, we'll have to see how they fare against the Horsemen on Himmelsdorf. But yeah, I am bracing myself for an extremely long game.
With a lineup of Karen Tigers, I think it's going to be a really long game. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. Horsemen really thinking about this too. Wow, this is really, really interesting. This is going to be a really unique game on Himmelsdorf. It's going to be overall somewhat what we normally see, but the engagements are going to be very different.
What could it be, Wolf? What could it be?
This is going to be more like last season Himmelsdorf than this season. It's going to be a little bit more aggressive, autoloader focused protection sort of compositions.
All right. Well, we're double checking all the tanks. Just letting you guys know it's not the same lineup.
It's different.
Thank God, because that would have been disastrous.
A bit messy.
A little bit messy. Though, you know what? Karen Tays did run an entire Batchat comp for 4 different maps or something. But
yeah.
Anyway, looks like Himmelsdorf is ready. We're going to go head into the next game. All right, guys, set number 7. This is Himmelsdorf, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger, and it's Horsemen's match point once again, and they are on the attack.
All right, so Karen Tiger's running 4 1-1-3s and 2 bat shots. So that's this is really similar to last year because, Season 1, because this is when you'd see 4 IS-3s and 2 5100s. And then a T-54 is
lightweight, there we go.
Yeah, so really similar to what we see last season. This lineup for the Horsemen, though, is a lot more well-rounded. It's got 2 215Bs, it's got an E100, an IS-7, 150B, and a bat shot. So they've got their autoloader damagers that they're going to protect as well with their heavy tanks, but the way they're going to go about this is different. It looks like a big invade here for Karen Tiger.
I was going to say, so Horsemen going up toward the castle side, that's very standard. We were expecting that. However, it seems like Karen Tiger want to see if they can get, there we go. It looks like they want to see if they can take the fight to the Horsemen.
I think Spencer challenging Modame, there was a huge mistake. We've actually seen him try that on multiple maps. I think it's just super risky. Dark DH Master, don't fall off the side. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's never happened before. We don't want it to ever happen.
Obelisk on that lightweight. He's going to head up and see who is lurking in the castle side.
He wants to actually bait the Autolure to waste its rounds
Oh,
before
yeah.
they come up. I think that's his plan here. That would be so smart. Imagine a world where Archon is on reload when they all come up. That's exactly what's about to happen.
Oh gosh, Archon is going to be on reload when they all come up.
See,
That's this world.
This is so smart by Obelisk. Obelisk knows how to build a team comp and actually work with it. Archon has to actually back off, and he's so slow because he's on a 50B. Carrot Tiger's making a really smart composition here. I don't know if it's going to work, though. Here we go.
This is really interesting. We have hardly ever seen this kind of brawl up on the castle side. And we can see here, Gorilla, though, on the bat shot. He's got some rounds he could spare. He's got 3 more. What's he going to do with them?
I think he's just gonna try to outmaneuver these, but I don't think he has enough space to work with. He's surrounded.
No, I don't think he does. He does. Gorilla does take out Obelisk. Okay, that's 1. But he himself is going to drop Horsemen, already losing 3 tanks.
This is really, really bad. I don't think there's any way, literally, like this game is already over.
Wow, Karen Tiger just played that so smart.
So basically they invaded the castle, abusing the fact that Horseman plays exactly the same on this map basically every game. They always leave their 50-100 up there. They had Obelisk bait out his shots, and they had no idea the 113s were coming. And also Obelisk got vision of how many tanks were going to support that 50B. Then they just invade. This is why we always have tanks check for invades, even though it almost never happens. When it happens like this versus Karen Tiger with this comp, you just get destroyed. This game, I think, will probably nearly go to timeout because it's going to be so hard for Karen Tiger to kill Horsemen, but it's going to be, like, literally impossible for Horsemen to capture the base versus 6 tanks remaining. It's just not going to happen.
No, Karen Tiger, yeah, I just have a feeling they've already won this. Here we go, all the 113s going to travel as a pack.
I think what they're going to try to do is cut off the 113s on their way down and try to make them kind of bump into each other and struggle to go around the corner, but I think it's like already too late. Actually, they're not even going to do that. They're just going to try to bypass them entirely.
Shinoza on that bat shot got full rounds.
Yeah, and he's so fast. He's going to see the movements.
He is so fast, yeah.
Look at this. They're checking because they expected, like I did, that Horseman might try to cut them off on the corner here.
But they don't.
But they are going to need to head towards base capture too, because there's going to be 3 or 4 tanks in there in a second. But they'll have plenty of time to deal with that. Horseman is the team that has to make the aggressive move, and 2 tanks down like this versus such a beefy lineup.
Down,
yeah, 3 tanks down, I guess. Versus such a beefy lineup. I mean...
Yeah, and Karen Tiger, I mean, the only tank they lost was Obelisk, and that was a T-54 lightweight. There's, you know, not much of a threat in that.
So, here they come to try to catch these tanks. Basically, Horseman is going to try to hope that Karen Tiger just, like... I guess what Horseman's trying to do is hope that Karen Tiger just walks down into this street and gets shot.
Look at this standoff here.
Karen Tiger doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, neither. Oh, there we go. The Sixth Sense has gone off. Faluso takes a bit of damage. Dekamori does too. They trade a bit, but you know what's much better for the Karen Tigers at this point.
Really good angle on Dekamori though, and that was a better trade for Horseman, but it's a war of attrition at this point. Every hit point counts, so they're trying to climb their way back into this. Meanwhile, it looks like Shinoza might have gone to the castle side and is taking shots downward. Actually, not even from the castle, right here.
There's Shinoza. Yep, he's going to try to get rid of none from the side. Oh, he misses that last one.
I don't think this will kill him.
One more.
Oh,
yep,
it barely does.
It does.
Barely kills him. That's another tank kill.
Karen Tiger, man. They just like turn on the gear. They're like, it's match point. We don't want to lose.
Okay. You know, if Karen Tigers actually goes against Super Noob and they play like this, I'm gonna freak out because it's gonna be totally different from anything we've seen all season.
Oh jeez, yeah. Okay, Aki is going to take some damage here though. I like how Faluso and Colin decide to, you know, they have the surround, but you know what? Such a long reload timer.
Yeah, Faluso actually tries to get a ram damage on, but he's so slow there is no ram damage. Aki goes down, and Faluso is going to be the next to fall, unfortunately. Dark DH, not much he can do up here at the front. He's going to try to kill Pitset with Colin.
Modame from behind. He's going to come around, take some shots at Dark DH as well.
Yep, and where he's most vulnerable.
Again, full rounds. This guy can't survive this at all. Colin, last one standing, but he just should give up right here. GG. Karen Tiger slowly inching back into this game.
And there you have it.
I want to call it now. Come on, Colin. Let me call it. Let me just say it.
Colin is dead.
Colin is Cullen is
Okay,
dead.
there we go. There you go.
The
Now,
win goes to Karen Tiger, and they are up 3 maps now.
yep, they need 2 in a row to win it now. Ghost Town is our tiebreaker map, but we're going to go into Himmelsdorf for what could be the last map of this series.
We've been saying that, though. Maybe I'm jinxing them again.
I mean, that invade will never work again, though. That will never, ever, ever work again. Like, that's one of those strategies you do where you catch Horsemen like that, you trick them one time, but it's never going to work again. They're never going to be able to pull it off a second time. So what are they going to do here? They've got to have, like, plan B for Himmelsdorf, and I think they're going to run the same comp. I just don't know what they're going to do with it. They're on the attack.
They are
first
on
of
the
all.
attack, yes.
They might try to, like, aggressively push hardcore towards base capture too, like the A6, and just send all their tanks in there. That's what I would guess, but I mean, I can't get into Opolis' brain. I don't know what he's thinking.
No.
I don't know what he's thinking about this.
And after finding out that he's the mastermind behind all the Batchat comps, like, I don't even know if I want to know what's going on.
I don't know. I don't want to know, but, like, I'm not surprised. All I'll say is, like, when I found out it was Opolis, I'm like, I'm not surprised by this.
Totally not surprised by that. Yeah, so it looks like it's the last game. It might be the last game, right? These tank picks are really important. I'm not sure if they're going to go with the same ones again.
Yeah.
Or not.
They haven't revealed yet. I'm looking at Polly's chat.
Yep. I'm trying to cheat a little bit here,
Okay, I
too.
saw what he said. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say anything, though.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not saying it. You could say it if you want.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, you could say it if you want. I'm like, oh, it's up to you, Susie.
We will wait till the game begins.
I'm gonna look at what Falusa is saying though. What time is it now? Okay, that's his old tanks. He hasn't put his new tanks.
Yeah,
in there.
they asked for the tanks. This is, I mean, it's quite nice. Like, we get to see, how they interact with the observers, and the teams. I enjoy watching the chats go down.
Yeah, me too.
I know we're just like.
Okay, I see them all. I know them all.
Okay.
Not gonna say anything until we get into the game though, because that would keep you guys entertained. You'll be like, oh, the suspense is too high.
Yeah. But yeah, this is really, really important. Karen Tiger just, last season they were number 2.
Yeah.
And coming in as 4, they have a lot to prove. They want to make sure that they can get back to the level that they were at before. And especially with the whole shenanigans with B Gaming. Like, we really apologize for that. It was just misinformation that we had gotten.
They're really running with this hard though. They want this win. This is not like, even though it looks like from the outside looking in, perhaps like, oh, are they messing around? Why are they using everything that's not standard? It's like, well, it's working for them actually now several games in a row, so it could work. And they really have, like, I have to give it to them. They've really prepared using a comp that no one else is really well. How do you, like, practice and train to build with 7 players a composition that no one else is using? If no other teams are doing it, you can't get their advice because they're like, you're crazy. What are you doing?
I wonder who they practice with.
Yeah, it's really hard to say.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get back onto Himmelsdorf. This could be the last game, or we could actually head into Tiebreaker. Who knows? We'll have to find out after game number 8. Game number 8, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger. Horsemen been on this match point for a while now. Now it's Karen Tiger's turn to attack. Tell them now, Wolf. We see the tanks.
All right, 3 E100s for Horsemen. We're in super defense mode. Big damage. IS-7, 50B, and E3. So you got to get that extra tank destroyer damage in there, and a 1390. Karen Tigers. Same. Copy paste.
Same.
So we're gonna see how Karen Tigers wants to push this on the attack. Instead of going for base capture number 2 as I expected them to, they're moving towards the west side. And Horseman expects this too, actually, based on their
positioning
setup,
here. Yep. There's Colin on the IS-7 in that C2 spot. C2 bar.
Yep. Maybe the last time we see that C2 bar, because we don't know what maps are coming up next. Could be the last C2 bar of the regular season.
Maybe we should open a bar and just call it C2.
I would.
And then, like, World of Tanks people can come by and be like, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I want to invite that guy from last season who wore the tank hat to the finals.
Oh, that was really
the cardboard
awesome.
hat.
that was really cool.
He could be the bartender. If anyone acts up, he just fires rounds at him. All right, this is a hard push here. Obelisk is leading the charge.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they are heading up, utilizing that the western side of the railroad tracks. They're trying to come up on this, but it looks like Horsemen are ready for them. They want to see if they can pick them up. Obelisk going to go behind the station.
Yeah,
A little depot.
Hate to tell Aki, but he can't fit there. But we'll see what happens. Oh, Spencer gets blown up right away.
Spencer on that
way too aggressive.
1390. Yeah, he's just, it's not working out for him.
Yeah. Thank God he's not on a back shot or people would get upset. Now, Aki, his rear posterior does stick out a little bit there.
It's okay to have a big rump.
That's right.
Some men like that. Some drivers like that on their tanks.
Some people are really into that, you know. It's a stylistic choice. But, you know, just looking at this, Obelisk taking a bit of damage.
Oh, and on the other
base,
side, yeah. I mean, I think it's just a drive-by. But yeah, base captured down to 40. That drive-by was really well done. I think it kind of flustered Horseman just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I got flustered myself. Modame is out of rounds right now, so he's not as scary as he could be, but Archon is taking way too much damage off screen.
I don't even see where he is. Archon does go down. Aki is able to kill him off.
All right, here's a shot of Colin. He's actually kind of poking his head out of his turtle shell over here.
Yep, but that wasn't very good. I guess he gets a little bit of damage on him. Aki trying to get back into this base capture, see what he can do with that. Colin is the star of the moment.
Yeah, but he's not doing much here. I think this is going to be another win for Karen Tiger. I think that Horsemen are really struggling to deal with this composition. It's all 113s, and they're all just outlasting the Horsemen.
Oh my gosh. Maybe they just need to use 113s as well.
I just don't think they can, because I don't think they know how to. Like, this is something no one is using right now.
I know, right? All right, well, Aki, oh gosh, Decamore does take out Dark DH. You're right. I think we're going to go into a tiebreaker.
The problem with the E100s, too, is their rate of fire is too low. Like, I don't think it was, like, the right counter.
Gorilla versus Aki here. The two tanks very, very low. I think Aki might be able to hit Gorilla if he can get around the corner.
Gorilla, the last man standing, barely with 8
8
health.
HP.
He's killed by like 4 tanks simultaneously.
Karen Tiger going to take this into a tiebreaker.
We're going to tiebreaker, and that means we're going to Ghost Town.
Wow.
I think Karen Tiger will use the same comp on Ghost Town because it's quite strong there. The question is, which variation are they going to use?
More 113s.
Is it going to be the 4 113s or the 2 113s? I think they're going to do 4 because it's a city map. Like the first maps we were on were not city maps, so that's why they only ran 2. But now we're going to city map. The 113s can kind of absorb more damage. They can drive around corners and such.
All right, well, you know what? We are going to Ghost Town. This is the tiebreaker. Let's introduce this map to you in case you're new to this.
Yeah, if you guys are tuning in for probably like one of the first times this season, you've never seen this map before because it wasn't one of the most popular maps this season. This map is a city map, similar to Himmelsdorf. The streets are wider, though, and there are 2 very different capture points. One is smack dab in the center of the map. You want to see teams rush to it and try to control the point from the inside, because the only way to actually assault it once someone is on it is to enter from the outside, and there's a few choke points that you can control that way. You see that big square right there? That's where it is. The other capture point is to the north, where if you rush up to that side, you can actually get like tanks with low hulls to sit in there. It's hard to hit them, and you can oftentimes bait tanks to come out of the town from the south, and then you can actually kind of set up to defend your tanks there in the capture point from there.
So yeah, this map, we've been seeing this map quite a bit all season long. It is interesting to see it as a tiebreaker, though. That's not, you know, common. Looks like Hawami is coming down. We're gonna put Shinoza up. Oh wait, no, we're taking Shinoza out, putting Tepco in. Yes, that's what it is. Shinoza's out, Tepco's in. But yeah, like I said about this map, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Ghost Town is just interesting to see because we never really see this as a tiebreaker. I'm also surprised that we came to a tiebreaker.
You know what's crazy, by the way, too? Just looking at the chat, Karen Tigers won the coin toss, and they went for defense instead of attack.
Huh.
That goes to show how much the map meta has changed since the beginning of this season, because at the beginning it was like attack wins almost every time on this map, like an insane amount of times.
Now it's defense always, yeah.
Now defense is doing a lot better on this map, so it's kind of really shifted as people figured out how to use the tier 10 tanks a lot. So Karen Tiger will be on defense, and Horsemen are going to be on the attack.
Yeah.
And with defense, I think like it's possible we do see that 4-1-1-3 lineup. Not 100% sure though, because I don't, like you said, I don't want to get into Opolis brand. I just want to like press tab and see what's coming on.
Yeah. Karen Tiger on the defense. I still think they're going to run very aggressively. That's what they've been doing all night long.
Yeah, like literally all night long, and it only started working at the end, but Horsemen are probably starting to sweat a little bit on this one. Like if they lose this game, they're just out.
They were at match point, and then Karen Tiger, this could be a come from behind win, and then they just go on to play Super Noobs.
Yeah, could be. Really, really important game right now. Looks like the players are ready. The map is loaded.
Oh my gosh, this is it. This is the make it or break it. Which team is going to go ahead and play Super Noobs? We'll have to find out. Here we go into the tiebreaker. Welcome to Ghost Town, set number 9. Score is tied 4-4. Karen Tigers coming back from a deficit. Now here are our tanks.
So 2 IS-4s instead of the 113s and 3 215Bs. 215B is a lot more popular on this map. 3 215Bs for Horsemen with 2 E100s. Instead of IS-4s, which are more standard on this map, especially on the attack, because you're going to want to control the center with those. And they're bringing 2 ST1s, Obelisk and Tepco on those.
Yeah, they're taking the 2 tier 9s instead of, 1 tier 8.
Feluso is on the 416, so it's possible that he could try to use that skillet tank to capture base capture number 1, but that's not how he's being used right now.
Okay, we see the 215Bs. And the E100 heading into the base capture point. I'm not sure if this is a bait or if they're just going to go in there and try to.
Yeah, it looks very real, you know?
Yeah, it actually does.
Like, and this is probably not what Karen Tiger expected, and they sent their ST1s over here. That's not going to be
enough.
That's not what they're going to be what defends this.
All right, well, I think they want to fight within this circus here.
Yeah, that's why the E100s are here to back them up. Here come 215Bs, though, to try to come from the side.
All right, 16 seconds, 15 seconds, and you're right, the bat shot, Spencer on the bat shot, he's going to come and see if he can give cover, too. There's Polly. They're going to try to get rid of the tanks as they pop up around the side.
Now, because
and just fight for the middle.
Yeah, all 3 of these tanks have been here for a little while, so it's important to hit all 3. I think the one that they missed was Gorilla, so Gorilla still has his full timer on, and he's the most well protected. It's going to be very difficult to break this for Karen Tiger, and they're not getting back into position. Okay, one shot hits Archon, but Gorilla still has all of his timer up, so this is going to be really tough. They need to hit him to really reset this.
Yeah, but I really do like where Colin is situated. He's just trying to block what he can from that angle.
Exactly.
There's none from the other angle.
Oh my God.
Dekamori took a little bit of damage. Gorilla.
They hit Gorilla, though. They hit Gorilla. That's what they needed to do. And now they need to finish these tanks off while they're actually with a tank advantage in this area. Down goes Gorilla. This is Karen Tiger's opportunity. If they don't win here, they're not going to win this game.
Oh my gosh. There is no second chance. This is it. Horsemen leave the base capture, and they want to just go for the elimination. Modame seems to be the next target. I think he's going to go down.
This might actually cost Horsemen the game because of how they went through there. There are casualties on both sides, though, as Aki and Modame go down. Feluso goes down on that 416.
Oh gosh, Polly is really low. There he goes. Dark DH finishes him off. It is a 4v3 situation in favor of Horsemen.
And you know what? I may have misspoke earlier about them actually leaving the base because it puts them in a good position here. Now, the problem for the Horsemen's lineup is they have 2 E100s, which take forever to reload.
Oh, gosh, and I think that's going to be it. The 2 ST1s are the only ones left. The Tier 9 tanks. Tepco is going to take some damage here. Unless they're able to kill off all 4. I don't think so. Obelisk.
Yeah, Spencer's back too. And Obelisk, the last one standing. I think Horsemen barely did it.
Oh, gosh, they finally did it. They're the ones who are able to go and play against the Super Noobs.
What a crazy close series that was.
I can't even, wow.
Really, really fun last game, too.
And this tells you this is the playoffs. Like, every game here really mattered, and they played like they meant it. Congratulations to the Horsemen. Now they have secured their position to now play against Super Noobs. Man, they must be so mentally drained.
Yeah,
I can't even.
They have to, and Super Noobs was watching that whole time. I think Super Noobs is probably like, okay, thank God it wasn't Karen Tiger. At least we'll have to play against the craziness. I think that choice to go for that base capture in the center with the E100s was based on the fact that, like, literally based on the fact that Karen Tiger chose defense. They were like, oh, you think defense is the way?
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to, like, week 1 and just rush that capture point. Let's see if you're ready for that with your weird tank lineup. And good reaction by Karen Tiger. Hitting Gorilla was key because if they had missed him one more time, that would have been actually a base capture.
Yep.
Wow, that was a really well played by both sides throughout the entire series. Really great series.
That was crazy. Karen Tiger really showing us that they could come back when they have a fire lit under them. But at the end, Horsemen were able to take that win. And yeah, that's it. Karen Tiger are eliminated. It's going to be a Horsemen heading up to meet the Super Noobs in about 10 minutes. We're going to take a short little break. And when we come back, we will have the final playoff to see who joins EL Gaming to go to the APAC-ASIA finals. So we'll be right back, 10 minutes. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. Wolf, we have the last matchup of the regular season, like completely
right.
last one.
Very last one.
And this is going to be Super Noobs versus Horsemen. This is number 2 versus number 3. I mean, this is the way that we expected it to go. I'm super excited.
So am I. Let's see if Horsemen can actually tackle this titan of a team. I think it's going to be a pretty tough challenge, but you know, they did just fight really well versus Karen Tiger, defeated them in tiebreakers. They do have that momentum going for them.
All right, well, let's go straight into it. Let's look at the team rosters of the 2 teams that are going to be playing in this final playoff match. Here are the Super Noobs. This team came up from Silver Series. They joined the Gold Series this season, season number 2. And we were like, you know, their name says Super Noob. Are they going to be any good? Are they good? Wolf.
They're really, 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 really good. Another thing about them, though, is we actually haven't seen them in a long time. Like, they haven't been playing that many regular matches. The last regular match they would have played, like, there was a DQ and such. So they've been able to hide a lot of how they've been playing recently because the meta has changed since the last time we saw them. We saw 215Bs raise in popularity. We saw Karen Tiger try to reinvent how TVPs are worked. Also, TVPs are a thing now. Like, last time we saw Super Noobs, TVPs were not that popular. And like, the time before that, they didn't even exist. You know, they weren't out in the game yet. So I'm curious to see how NTLog especially is going to do on that TVP.
All right, Horsemen, we just saw them play an amazing series versus the Karen Tiger. Started off strong, then they kind of seemed to get flustered with what the Karen Tigers brought to the table. But at the end of the day, I have to say, it was probably a very difficult win. That last hurrah in the tiebreaker. In a way, I feel like they got lucky, but you know what? This is definitely still a very, very strong team. Hopefully they're just not mentally trained for this next match.
We got to keep an eye on Feluso and Gorilla, the 2 playmakers of the team. None also making some solid plays. And Dark DH Master getting some good information. Spencer was, I feel like, oftentimes a bit too aggressive. So, you know, when we see him on that 1390 or on the T54 lightweight, like, where does he go? How does he do it? That's really important to keep a close eye on for this team as well.
Yeah, Horsemen just... I'm honestly worried for them. That's like the mom part of me, right? That's like, oh, but they just played a 9-game series. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? This is the playoffs. This is a make it or break it. This is where the men come to shine. Are you a man or are you a boy? Are you gonna be able to do this?
That's what we're gonna find out, Susie. So, Himmelsdorf is gonna be our first map. We're gonna take a look at our maps in just a moment.
Yeah, where are the maps? I think there we go. First map is Himmelsdorf, like we said. I'm really curious to see how Horsemen are going to play this one out.
Yeah, that's a great starting map for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we're going to go into Cliff and Ghost Town, and lastly, Ruinberg. If we go to Tiebreaker, we will go to Mines.
Now, Horsemen obviously, hopefully, haven't depleted their surprise tactics because they've already played on Himmelsdorf, they played on Cliff, they played on Ghost Town, and these are the first 3 maps that are there. Hopefully they'll be able to come up with something new so that, you know, Super Noobs don't expect it.
Sure. I feel like Horsemen are probably really happy with how Karen Tiger played because it forced them to kind of just react, and they never really had to show their specific strategies or plans. It was always like, okay, Horsemen versus Karen Tigers, what they did. Like, oh, that's really weird. You know, how are we going to respond to that? So Super Noobs probably watching this going, well, we don't play like Karen Tigers, so we didn't really learn that much from that game.
Maybe, but I mean, again, on Ghost Town, the way that Horsemen attacked, right? That was very surprising, and the way the Karen Tigers reacted to that, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. We'll just have to wait and see how will Horsemen play this out. Will they be able to be calm and collected like they were for the first 4 games in the series before?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I think looking at some of the players who struggled in some of those moments, like Feluso had a few off moments. Gorilla was like missing some really important shots at the end of that. And also Spencer, like looking at those players, fatigue is such a big factor in a long series
Spencer
like this.
really did overextend quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like they got to keep their cool because this is so important right now.
All right, well, guys, I mean, the maps have been picked, and this is it. Whoever wins this gets to go to the finals for the APAC-ASIA series. Join EL Gaming and whatever team wins from Korea, and, you know, this is a really exciting time. It really,
really is.
Okay. Anyway, it looks like first game is ready. It's going to be Super News versus the Horsemen on Himmelsdorf. Let's get into set number 1. It looks like Super Noobs are going to be on the attack first, and here are our tanks.
All right, let's take a look at Super Noobs lineup first, because we didn't see them play, and also they're on the attack. They're going all 215Bs, and an E5, and a 50B. So like 4 of them. Whereas Horsemen are running their E100 lineup again. Horsemen actually running the same lineup they ran versus Karen Tiger, the exact same one. 3 E100s, an IS-7, a 50B, and a batshit. So when you look at this, looks like that's kind of how they like to approach this map in general. The E100s definitely didn't do them any favors on this map. In fact, it caused them to lose, and Karen Tiger ended up going to the tiebreaker. But this is a different scenario here.
All right, here we can see Super Noobs are going to travel as a pack. Hien on the 1390, just ahead of the pack, basically, as we would expect.
Yeah.
Just taking a look over into the courtyard side, and now he's going to come back and join the rest of his team. There he is. There's Hien on this little itty-bitty tank. Ricky and Ironhide, I feel like I haven't seen these names in a while. Have we not seen?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I
think the last 2 scheduled matches, both their opponents DQ'd.
Ah.
And then it was like a little while before that, anyways. So it's been like a long time.
Oh gosh, I feel like it's like welcome back, guys. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah.
Usually. Ironhide and Hien, they're gonna go. Oh, sorry, go ahead over to the railroad side. Whoa.
That blew up. I don't know what that was. I guess that thing kind of blows up sometimes, that doodad. I was just gonna say, usually when teams end up going as like high as Horsemen or Super Noobs and EL, teams DQ versus them a lot because it's like, oh, we have no chance. So that happens sometimes. That's why we haven't seen EL play in a while either.
All right, Hien, yep, making his way over to the depot. This is a really common place for the 1390s to sit in this base capture, as it is for Colin at the C2 bar.
Yep, now this sort of tactic was used almost exclusively by EL and Super Noobs for a while. The other team has started to emulate it because obviously Super Noobs and EL are the best 2 teams right now. But we'll see if this actually works out. The position to back up Hien right now is really solid. Like Last and Ricky.
Yeah, coming up through the courtyard here to make sure that they are able to provide that backup fire. Colin, Gorilla rather, I'm sorry, no, it was Colin. Colin trying to take those shots over to the depot and hope that he'll be able to hit Hien, but he hasn't. Base capture is down to 64 seconds now.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, NT-Lock is actually trying to hold the castle side, but he's out of rounds and will actually have to relinquish control of that.
Yeah, Spencer's like, ooh, I think I know this. Maybe I can go ahead and try to take some damage onto him. But
Spencer loves to fight autolures that are more powerful than him.
All right, Ironhide has joined the party inside the ring, and base capture is down to 16 seconds.
The Last is taking terrible damage elsewhere, just in the middle of the courtyard. Looks like he was hit from the upper AMX tank.
As of right now, though, I mean, okay, Faluso does go down. Base capture 7 seconds. There are no members of Horsemen anywhere in sight, and Colin wants to come and stop this. However, Ricky from the side trying to get rid of him first before he could do any damage. 10 seconds left. Wow.
Okay, they forced him to come in. Colin is really desperate there because, like you said, if he didn't come, they would have run out.
Ooh, Spencer from behind. He does get that timer up a little bit, but it's not really helping because Hien is the one that they need to hit, and he is well covered by Ironhide. Base capture is down to 0 seconds, and Super Noobs going to win. Oh my gosh.
A quick game there on Himmelsdorf, less than 4 minutes long. I feel like that last game was really, it was like super technical. It was much more technical in the last series. Like I stayed actually pretty quiet in that game because I was like learning, I was like taking mental notes, like, okay, how are they positioning themselves? How are they moving? Hien's position was good. The control of the Last and Ricky to come from the side there was also good.
That was amazing.
The only weak point in the armor of Super Noobs was when they lost control of the castle, and then I believe it was Gorilla and I can't remember the other tank that was up there, but because we didn't see much of a shot of him, but I saw the autoloader was firing down and was nearly hitting them and was also hitting the Last and Ricky from behind, and that's when things started to get scary, but they still held their ground, and Colin had to move.
Colin had to move, and what I really liked was on the way. We had Ricky and then one other tank on the other side, and they were just shooting at him on the way that by the time he got there. And then he had Ironhide to protect Hien. Hien just sitting there pretty because he's just this tiny little tank, right?
Ironhide's name is like the best ID in this game. Like he's always protecting somebody. He's always on a heavy tank that's like got a large iron hide, literally. So I love that ID. We didn't get to see NT-Lock do much because he was just kind of up there. He got pushed off the castle point. But now that we switched sides and he's on defense, I would really love to see him try to invade the castle and take control of that zone because he is the best. I think he's the best auto-loader player next to Fox in the world.
This is really interesting to see. Horsemen, I felt like playing against Karen Tiger, that they were the stronger team. But now playing against Super Noobs, it's like, the advantage going to Super Noobs, of course, and I'm reading it like, Gorilla was so clutch last game. What's going on? Like, I don't understand. The dynamic is definitely different here, and it's the power, I feel like, has shifted. I'm pretty sure Horsemen coming into this also know, like, oh, shoot, this is Super Noobs, not Karen Tigers.
Yeah.
This is a team that we really, really need to beat.
A tough game there, really aggressive strategy that, again, only EL and Super Noobs were doing consistently this season. I think Horsemen maybe a bit rusty against it. They had the tools in place to defend it, but they were more focused on the castle side, which didn't end up gaining them much in the end. Well, I think if we go into this next game, we're going to see very similar lineups from both teams. I wonder if the Super Noobs will bring a tank destroyer because the Horsemen are liking to run their E100s on this map. I think there's a high chance they will bring one. The 2 and 5B lineup, though, seems to be kind of what a lot of Asian teams are thinking is just good on any map.
The thing to do. 2 and 5Bs, man.
We saw Super Noobs, I think the last time they played, actually, I think they played against a team they were highly favored against and 5-0'd them. And like on one of the maps, I think it was Pro Kurovka, they just went like all 2 and 5Bs and just like walked across the map and killed everybody without even doing any sort of tactical movement.
I can't even remember the last time we casted the Super Noobs game.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, while you talk, I'm going to take a look at this list here.
And while you're looking at that, I am seeing everyone is in the lobby now and all tanks are picked.
I believe it was January 14th.
So that's like 3 weeks ago, basically.
That was a long time ago. And that was against Team Efficiency.
Yeah, and that was like when they put on Pro Kurovka and just did that weird attack, and I'm like, wow, you guys just really think you're way better. And they were, and they are.
Well, yeah, Super Noobs, like you've been saying, they're a very, very smart team, and we'll have to see what they have for us in store for game number 2. We're back on Himmelsdorf, and I believe the map is just about loaded.
That's right. About 80%.
There we go. All right, guys, let's get into game number 2. Okay, guys, set number 2, Super Noobs versus Horsemen. Super Noobs did take that first win via base capture, and now it's the Horsemen's turn to attack.
All right, so really want to talk about Super Noobs lineup because the Horsemen brought the exact same lineup. However, the Super Noobs are reading this so well. Remember when I said I think the Super Noobs might bring a tank destroyer? They're bringing that. They're also bringing one E5 and an IS-4 instead of an IS-7, and that's gonna just give them a little bit more sturdiness versus this kind of big, like I don't want to call it E100's burst damage, but they do have like a large amount of damage for a long cooldown. It's not really a burst, it's just like a chunky damage. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it's slow damage that's not sustained, it's not actually consistent. And they're building a good lineup to actually just sit there and turtle and spread out across the map and beat Horsemen at whichever angle they come from here.
All right, you're right. They are spread out all over this map here. Horsemen, we've got Colin kind of taking a look at the courtyard, making sure it's nice and peaceful for all the college students who want to read their books on there.
Yeah, you know, you got to go out there. That might be when you ask that girl if she wants to go to the Friday dance with you or not. Better ask her in the courtyard.
Absolutely, I have to agree.
Don't ask her outside in the hallway after class. Go to the courtyard. It's more romantic.
Yeah, don't go to the schoolyard by Ghost Town.
Don't ask her when you're drunk at the C2 bar. Like, not a good idea.
All right, while we're talking about that, NT-Lock is going to go ahead and take a lot of damage. Oh my God, did you just see him get burst down like that?
Yeah, and Sunbo's going to be the next to follow. This is one weakness of spreading out like this is that sometimes you can just get 3v1 twice, and that's exactly what we saw.
Super Noobs just lost an AMX 50B and their Waffen.
And they're about to lose Ironhide here
Yes,
as
they
well.
are. Oh my goodness, this is really good movement by Horsemen, just being able to isolate each of the tanks and take them down one by one. Super Noobs, they totally did not expect this.
No, and they're basically out of luck here. It's going to be almost impossible for them to come back in this game. If any team could do it, Super Noobs are that team, but solid hit there from None. I always want to call him Des now, but good hit there. And you know, Super Noobs trying to get back into this. Archon goes down.
They are. They definitely are, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. Hien does go down on that lightweight. Ricky takes out Spencer, but now it's just 2 tanks. Yeah, the last, well, he has 7 HP. I wasn't even counting him.
Yeah, he's basically not even real. He's definitely dead now.
He definitely wasn't the last either.
No, that's right. We're going to see this be the slow end here. Watch how much damage Sidonia Tommy can put off on one shot. Boom, 722.
That was beautifully done. Tang, obviously facing towards Colin.
Gorilla.
Doesn't matter where he's going to be facing at this point because Sidonia Tommy is just going to come and try to ram him to death.
Yeah, Tang is like Gorilla's next target, I believe.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Horsemen did incredible in the... It was a divide and conquer, basically.
Yeah, that's literally what I had in my mind as Horseman does finish it off and tie us up 1-1. That, like, those 3 words, divide and conquer, was exactly like what I had in my brain when I was watching that game, because they were like, okay, let's fight a 3v1, a 3v1, and a 3v1, and they won all 3 with no casualties, and then suddenly it's a 7v4. A tough game to win.
That was really, really well done by Horsemen.
That, I have to, like, some people watch this and go, well, why would they do that? Like, did they just get lucky? How did they know that that Super Noobs are going to be like that? I think it's because they knew that Super Noobs likes to play like this on the defense a lot. They studied, they prepared, and that says a lot about Horsemen. It means that they studied and prepared for Karen Tiger, and also studied on the the idea that they would win against Super Noobs as well. Like, that's a lot of preparation.
Well, yeah, of course, you have to be prepared. You have to have that mentality of a winner, not like a maybe if we win, but we are going to win.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of confidence really helps a team. I was worried about them earlier about being mentally drained, but as of right now, it just seems that they've caught a new wind and they're able to do this. Score is now tied 1-1.
Yeah, and now we're going into Cliff. So we'll see if Horsemen can maintain their composure here. They did go 1-1 on Cliff last game versus Karen Tiger, so we'll see if they can actually take a lead here.
All right, well, let's yeah, we're just going to have to wait a bit.
Yeah, it looks like the tank's are ready. I was like jumping the gun a little bit. I'm like, yeah, let's go into game number 3.
I know, I'm like, oh, I'm excited. No, they haven't loaded the map yet. So they're still picking the tanks. They're still trying to figure out what they want.
Yep.
Attack or diff. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So it looks like Horsemen are on the attack first.
Okay.
Is that the notes that you have? Am I wrong? Yes, Horsemen are on the attack.
Yes.
They kind of give us these notes.
Oh, it looks like Faluso didn't know. Like he like lost the notes or something. Okay, so they've posted their tanks.
So once they are picked, we will be able to So okay, so they're on Cliff, and we have Horsemen on the attack first. We saw how they played against Karen Tiger, but obviously Super Noobs are going to be playing in a different way.
Yeah.
What do you think we can expect from Super Noobs? Obviously not like a full autoloader.
I think they're going to try the TVPs. We haven't really seen them use the TVPs that much because the TVPs came out after they'd played most of their matches.
Right.
So I would expect we'll see some TVPs and some STB1s. Probably not bat shots from either side. Like, if we do like only one, not going to be like 3 bat shots or Karen Tiger level bat shots.
Never again Karen Tiger level bat shots, please, guys.
So I would say, Object 140s, TVPs, maybe 1 STB. Yeah, so that's the kind of comp I expect to see from both. Maybe 2 STBs from Super Noobs if they want to just be a little bit careful on their first game and test the waters out. That's what I'd guess. Looks like they're basically set up and ready here.
Okay, Sidonia Tommy is going to sit out for Horsemen, and Dark DH is going to get back into the game.
Just like last time, they had Dark DH on this map, so that makes sense. Looks like we might have had a swap with...
Yeah, I think there's a swap here for Super Noobs as well. I'm trying to figure out who that might be.
Sungbo was out, but then he's back in. He was in both games before. I think maybe he just wasn't in the lobby, actually.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe he just logged out, like got disconnected or something.
Yeah.
Makes sense. This is what happens when you're on an online tournament. But I think everyone is ready. I'm really, really actually interested to see how they're going to play. That's going to be very different from how Karen Tiger play. Yeah. Here we go. We're on to Cliff. I believe the map is now ready. Let's get into set number 3. The score is tied 1-1. Super Noobs versus Horsemen. Now it is Horsemen's time to attack. Here we are on Cliff. Let's see how they roll.
All right, so let's take a look at Horsemen first. 1 Batchat, 2 140s, an STB1, and 2 TVPs. Whereas for the Super Noobs, they're going to run 3 140s, 1 STB, and 2 TVPs. So less focus on the auto litter damage, more based on consistent damage. And
okay, yeah, the way that the tanks are moving, Horsemen are going to go towards the western roadside, take that pathway in towards the boulder, while we have Super Noobs coming down, very standard, over into that little arena area that we call it, in front of the lighthouse. However, we do have one object tank just sticking back, hang back, make sure that they can provide good cover from behind. There is no brawl just yet.
yeah, there's actually been a patient setup here. Horsemen very aggressively move to the west. The Super Noobs just want to wait and kind of test the waters first for the engage, using their defensive advantage. Interestingly, one of the Object 140s for Super Noobs is like way hanging back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's just very strange to see that they are, you know.
Like he's like it's Tang actually. I was wondering who it was. He's like basically removed from the battle if it starts. But with the setup for Super Noobs, it's not going to start suddenly. It's going to have to be.
Well, no, I think he's there just in case the Horsemen decide to go for a base capture.
Yeah, like if they
rushed.
rushed. Yeah, if they rush the west side.
And they both have RU-251s right now. I mean, those two can definitely meet and fight at any point. Because as we can see here, all the way in the back, you can see on your screen, Hien is taking cover over by base capture number 1. Now, putting our attention back to the middle of this map, this is really interesting because there's no brawl. What is going on? It's almost 2 minutes into the game.
I think both teams are nervous. Like, they don't want to fight. They don't want to decide their playoff life on games like that right now. Hien is going to move towards Spencer, but I don't think he knows that Faluso's there. He does now. He just saw him. Guarantee you that. I saw him see him.
I saw him see him.
That's right.
Oh, Faluso takes a bit of damage. Wow, Sunbow taking shots from way afar.
Yeah, it was actually a 6 shot. I think the other shot was from Spencer. So he's like, oh. So we'll see how Horseman decides to approach this now, because they haven't gained much ground.
Not at all. And Horsemen really need to either eliminate or capture, and right now they're just kind of in an iffy position here.
The clock is ticking, you know, you guys can hear it.
All right, Gorilla and Archon both taking a bit of damage.
All right, Faluso wants to challenge Hien. Tang is nearby, but he gets a free shot on Hien. Very nicely done. NT-Lock going to take some blind shots. Whoa! Not only does NT-Lock, he avoids NT-Lock's fire, but knows he's there and returns it. Oh my god, he gets another one?
So yeah. NT-Lock looks like he's trying to move away from that area. He needs to avoid those shots, especially coming from Faluso, who's so far away.
Faluso's also like surrounded on 3 sides and is still finding ways to do damage. Look at this.
If he could hit NT-Lock one more time, okay, he doesn't. But
not this time.
Whew. 2
NT-Lock
for 3
just decides
is
to
pretty
reload.
good. Yeah, 2 for 3.
2 for 3 is good in a 1v3 lockdown position. But again, the clock is working against Horsemen. They still have a lot more time. Sunbow trying to see on this vantage point if he can find anyone to hit. Obviously, it's been overall better trades for Horsemen, I would say, for what tanks they hit. The Super Noobs, most of their tanks still healthy. Actually, you know what? I would take that back even to say, like, with none of their 140s taking damage, I think Super Noobs got the better trades out of that. It's unfortunate NT-Lock got hit, but, you know, he's going to have a lot of backup.
Yeah, I mean, Super Noobs for sure right now, especially because they are on the defense. It's under 6 minutes now, and all they have to do is hold on to this and just keep the Horsemen from capturing. because obviously they're not coming in for a fight. It seems that they want to play this very patiently and kind of see what tactics that we can see here. Spencer on the RU251, maybe overextending himself again.
Yeah. Backing up here. Oh man, this is actually one of our, like, I think this might literally be, I was gonna say this, our longest game on Cliff so far. Like, in the whole
I
tournament.
think so too. All right, Tang taking that shot on Gorilla. It's like every couple of seconds we're just gonna see one shot being fired.
Neither team is going to commit to a fight where the game could just be decided that way. The worrisome thing, though, is that if Horsemen does not eventually either commit to a fight or commit to a base capture to force a fight, then they've got 5 minutes on their death timer. It's like a ticking time bomb. Spencer gets a good vantage point here. He's actually going to be able to give his team a lot of information with this move. If anyone sees him, though, he is very vulnerable.
He is very vulnerable, but I mean, the view must be very nice up there.
Yeah.
If I was in that lighthouse, I think that's probably where, you know what, forget that courtyard. That's probably where I would like to be reading my book.
The lighthouse?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the lighthouse, though, is in this game in particular, it's like invulnerable. It cannot be destroyed. But in real life, like if a stray tank shot hits that, man, that thing's going to collapse so fast.
Well, you know, the view from here, you could like look over the cliff into the waterfront as well. Like,
yeah.
How pretty is that?
I mean, it would be really nice, for sure. Like if there's no tanks here, that's where I'm at.
Oh gosh, but you're very vulnerable, like you said. Tang does take that shot onto Spencer, and he's going to take a bit of damage. Horseman, just like every tank is a little bit chipped off, and 4 minutes left of this game, very, very slow. They're going to have to do something rash, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to describe it, because if you look at where they are on this map, they don't have any ground gained in any direction. If you look at the lineup of Super Noobs, if you look at their positioning, they've like cut a line defending both bases. The Horsemen haven't gained any ground on either side. I don't even think it would be difficult with the position of the Super Noobs for Horsemen to even
Here
kill them
we
all.
go. Finally, Horsemen, they're going to send an STB, a TVP, and a Batshat up towards the lighthouse side. They're going to really need to do something. Like we said, it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. If it runs out, Horsemen win. I'm sorry, I mean Super Noobs win.
Yeah.
Horsemen need to do something.
And this is not looking good. Looks like they're going to try to crash Sunbow and Ironhide's party here. I don't think Sunbow even knows this is about to happen. Okay, he's turning around now. But still nothing gained. Look at that position. It's so hard to attack them.
All right. The last is going to take a little bit of damage from that Batshat. Nunn wants to at least take out one tank. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Anti-lock coming to give that cover.
Yeah. Looks like I might have had a bug with our graphic for just a second there, but fear not. It's all good now. And
the last does escape a little bit. He's going to hide out, try to take shots on Feluso since, you know, he's really far away. Anti-lock. Oh, it's the last, actually. With 78 HP, he's hiding and then decides to take a shot at the other way.
Horsemen are kind of out of luck here, because I don't think it's going to be possible if they decide to try to win by elimination. I don't think they have enough time to kill everybody, and they're never going to get to the bases in time. There's too many tanks blocking. They have like 140 seconds left to do this.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen. Horsemen now in panic mode. They're going to try to come out and bring the fight over, but Super Noobs have been waiting for this entire time. They know. They have all 7 tanks still up. There goes Dark DH. And one by one, we're going to start to see tanks fall.
Oh man, Spencer's like desperately trying to kill Sunbow here.
Colin, Archon. Should I just start naming names? It's like a death note.
If you want to, Gorilla's the
Gorilla.
next one.
Guys, I can read.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should write a note on a piece of paper and hand it to you that says Horsemen are done in this game, because you can read that one out, because that's actually what's occurring here. It took them 8.5 minutes to finish this off. It's going to take, I guess, a few more seconds, but this game actually is probably just going to be a timeout, because I don't think they can kill Spencer, although he just got hit.
No, I think they might be able to. Either way, at this moment, Horsemen really just don't have much. There goes Nunn. He's just going to get rammed into and blown up. Spencer, I mean, you're right. He is on the RU2. Okay, never mind.
There he goes.
Never mind. Ironhide takes it. Super Noob's going to go ahead and win that first long game on Cliff.
Longest game on Cliff on record. Literally the longest game possibly has ever been.
I think so too.
Like, no one has ever even played a game like just a custom game with their friends on this map that lasts that long. No one has ever played that in scrims that last that long. Like, never in Europe. Like, some guy in Belarus was like, my game was longer. I'm like, no, it wasn't. You don't have to lie to us, okay? It's actually, that was the longest game ever. But
asterisk, we need to fact check this, but pretty sure.
Yeah, like maybe a few asterisks. Like, also Wolf does make up these statistics from time to time. But like, that game for Horsemen was pretty disappointing because they didn't take action soon enough, and then they just kind of like sat there in the arena area for a long time with all their tanks.
Yeah.
They had good vision, but what did they do with it? You know, Spencer had like, he was like telling everybody like, I could see tanks over there. There's like 2 TVPs over there, but they never actually tried to surround and kill them.
They never actually did anything with that information. And by the time they tried to do something, Super Noobs were just in perfect position to defend it.
I feel like the game that we just watched, like I would just imagine the Horsemen comms are probably just like a committee. Like, are all in favor of attacking? Like, say aye. Nobody says anything. They're like,
and then they go, nay.
Oh
gosh.
man, I didn't see that one coming. But yeah, I think that like there's clearly some like discussion going on when there comms about like how do we do this, and they don't make quick decisions. And I said Super Noobs was like the smartest team at the beginning of the season because they're making decisions like really fast, like on a dime.
I think, like I said before, they played Karen Tiger before, and they saw exactly how Karen Tiger approached a situation. You obviously don't want to do the same thing as you did in the previous game.
Yeah.
So there was probably a lot of discussion going on about which strategy they want to pursue, and that probably just got, you know, a little.
It can be overwhelming.
Overwhelming. I'm not sure. Yeah, and then when they played against Karen Tiger, also they were reacting to how they were approached, so it could have been different. But now, as we go on and swapping sides on Cliff, we're gonna have to see if Super Noobs, number one, if they're gonna play an aggressive way or what their strategy is. And again, Horsemen are in a situation where they're gonna have to react, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna be. It's definitely not gonna be easy. I wonder how this game is gonna go. I wonder if it's gonna be as slow because I think Super Noobs definitely going to play it more aggressive.
I think so too.
Like they're going to put Horsemen in an uncomfortable position before 6 minutes at least. Like it's not going to be we're sitting there at 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, going, well, nobody's died yet, so I'm not sure if the defense side is really worried right now because I wouldn't be. Okay, well, looks like everyone is locked in. Tank picks
I believe
are chosen.
So. Yeah, so we just have to get the okays from both teams, and then we could head into game number 4. Cliff, I can't believe how long that last game was.
Yeah, it's actually kind of pretty nuts, pretty wonky.
This one's going to be a little more standard in the sense that it'll be faster. I'm pretty sure, and we'll have to see how Super Noobs decide to approach it. I think both teams are now finally ready, and the observer has clicked the start battle button. Just wait for the map to load, and we are ready for game number 4. Alrighty, here we go. Set number 4, Super Noobs versus Horsemen. Super Noobs up 2 games, Horsemen's 1, and now it's Super Noobs going to attack on Cliff.
All right, well, we got a Skoda in here.
Whoa, we've
Everybody
got a lot of 215Bs in here.
So, looks like Horseman just wants to take the all-around approach, whereas Super Noobs are going to run basically the same lineup, 3 140s and STB1, 2 TVPs, RU251.
All right, here come the Super Noobs. They're just going to go ahead and go around towards that lighthouse into the arena like we expected. This is how teams brawl, basically, right here in front of the boulder and the lighthouse. But Horsemen taking a different route. They're going to go through this little farm village with a silo and everything, and they're going to take that western road. Looks like Hien on the RU251. I can't even speak. I just saw the 215Bs. I was like, that must be it too. But on the RU251, he's going to go and obviously spot that's where the Horsemen are.
Yep. Well, he's going to take some damage for it, but he will see that. So this is why high ground vision on this map is so important, because you get a good vantage point, then you got to get the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. Faluso taking some serious damage on that Skoda, meanwhile, while he's trying to scout.
He's far away, yeah. Ooh, look at all the 215Bs here. Horsemen coming up that pathway.
This is why we don't see them on this map too often. They do take a bit of time to go up high places.
Oh, yeah, Hien. See if he can get some damage done onto the T-54.
This is one time when Spencer should really challenge this.
I know, right?
It's like actually
Here
correct.
we go.
Hien might die from fall damage. Okay, that was scary.
No, he's taking it slow. Oh.
He took 5 more damage of fall damage, but then is killed by Colin.
He almost made it.
He almost made it. Base capture is started though. 3 tanks in there, 4 tanks in there. It's gonna be pretty hard to reset this one. Now, the Skoda is somewhat nearby, but it's not known for its accuracy over long ranges.
Ricky is seeing if he could bait, possibly, by just coming out so that the other tanks will not get hit. They're obviously trying to keep Ironhide or Tang safe so that the base doesn't reset. Ooh.
It's okay, because Ricky should not have stepped out though. I think they're gonna give it up.
Yeah. Everyone's stepping out. Gorilla, Nunn, and Colin on their way over to the base now. Tang taking quite a bit of damage. Anti-lock off screen does go down.
Not sure what went wrong here for the Super Noobs, to be totally frank with you, Susie. Like, they just got way out accuracy. Like, Horsemen just did not miss a single shot this game. And, I mean, we're going to go to a 2-2 score here unless Super Noobs pulls off a miracle right now. The vision control was good for Super Noobs. They just didn't connect their shots, and Horsemen did. I think it might be as simple as that.
Horsemen are on the 215Bs. They're
weird
slower,
too.
but I would say they do quite a bit of damage.
The 215B is like, you ever play Mario Kart and you like use your character, some characters are faster, some characters are heavier. The 215B is like when you pick Mario. It's like, okay, it's the all-around one. It's like basic in every way, but also good in every way. It doesn't have any glaring weaknesses.
All right, Sunbow from the high ground, seeing if he can try to pick off any tank. Horsemen, I mean, Dark DH and Feluso are both down really low. Archon is getting focused fire down.
Yeah, even burning a little bit there, it looks like.
And wow, Ricky did quite a bit of damage on that. So yeah, now we've got all these members of Horsemen that are just very low on HP, but the Super Noobs are not able to capitalize on it.
They only have one autoloader left, and that's Ricky. This is going to get awkward. I think Sunbow can actually win this fight with his current position if he faces himself right directly in the front. See, it ricocheted there, but he didn't connect. I think Spencer should probably just give this up. Tang taking damage meanwhile.
All right, it's a Sunbow-Spencer battle here, and surprisingly, Spencer not being very aggressive at all.
And honestly, like, this is so insignificant compared to everything else that's happening on the other side of the map, because this is like just going to be a one, it's the tier 8 versus the tier 9 tanks, whereas in reality, like, Tang and the last are trying to do everything they can.
So now you guys can finally see what's going on down in the arena here. It's Tang and the last. They're just kind of there, facing a bunch of 215Bs. I mean, I just don't see how this is going to happen for Super Noobs at this moment.
Tang goes down, the last will be the next to fall. And Sunbow up there on top of his castle.
Where is
Ironhide? God, he
Ironhide?
fell. He's so dead, he can't move or do anything.
He's pretty dead now.
I actually hope they just leave him there. Like,
nope, Gorilla is like, you aimed at me, I'm gonna kill you. There's Ironhide. He's trying to do something, but nope, it looks like Horsemen are going to end up tying this up. Horsemen doing very well on this map.
No.
Oh boy. And
Ironhide, not on the heavy tank this game.
You know, he should have just jumped off the cliff. I wonder if you could do that.
Actually, I think on this map it's hard to jump like off the edge. But I know that, like, for example, where we saw that the tank on the lighthouse, you can fall off there, like we saw. But that
would have been pretty awesome if he's like, no, you can't get me because I'm gonna jump.
He's like, I'm in control of my destiny, and like jumps off the side.
That would actually been pretty funny. Okay, so now the score is tied 2-2. Third map is Ghost Town, and that's the map that Horsemen were able to beat Karen Tiger on in that tiebreaker match, and be the victors and get to where they are right now. See if they're going to have that same luck again.
Yeah, I think that Horsemen are pretty strong on this map. Like, they won the last set versus Karen Tiger on this map in the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
They were aggressive with attacking. Let me look at who's attacking first this time. It's going to be Horsemen attacking first. So I think there's a high chance they do try that E100 push strategy again. I would say like I'd bet money on it even. See if the Super Noobs are watching that closely when we were streaming that earlier, because I doubt they missed it. I'm pretty sure they were like expecting this, and they will probably build a composition that's trying to counter that a little bit. It's tough to counter this though. Like we've seen a few weird answers to it. Like we saw teams running the Tortoise and like pushing in with that.
Yeah.
We saw the Mouse tank run on this map a few times to try to push in and try to absorb that damage. We've also seen tank destroyers. Tamati was liking to play those sometimes on this map. So anything goes, but I think trying to counter that E100 push is what I would be doing as Super Noobs.
I'm sorry, well, all that was going through my mind was like the tortoise, the mouse. I was like, and the leopard. I mean, all these animals are just getting thrown in front of the
Well, what we really need is the hare tank now. We have the tortoise and the hare. I'll be happy with
hare. We have a mouse.
The jaguar sounding tank.
We have jaguars. We have leopards.
We do. I thought you were laughing at the fact that I did like a long-winded explanation. That I was like, anything goes, like as if it was like everything I said. Then I'm just like I was like laughing at myself. I'm like, but anything goes. So like, don't listen to anything I said. Like anything can happen.
I was just picturing like each of these tanks as animals. I'm like, there's the tortoise and like there's the mouse. Even though mouse is really huge and like in my head, just like this big rat that's like running around. But anyway, overactive imagination.
Well, mouse. Like the spelling of that in German just means mouse.
I know,
too, so.
I know. That's why it was this
it's not
big
even an
German rat then coming.
It's like a big German rat. It's like one of those rats from the Nutcracker. It's got swords.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah, that's scary.
That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. All right, guys. So Ghost Town. It looks like both teams have picked their tanks, and we are ready to head into this next game. Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th game now. Let's get into this next set. Okay, we are on Ghost Town. This is set number 5, Super Noobs versus Horsemen, and the score is tied 2-2. Horsemen are attacking first.
So the Horsemen are running that E100 comp, 3, 2, and 5 Bs with it, and a bat shat. They're also running the same 4-1-6 that they ran versus Karen Tiger, so they're basically doing the same comp. And Super Noobs is countering it. This is what I was talking about. You bring a tank destroyer. They're going to bring Conquerors also, which is going to be good for resetting the base capture if it comes to that. So I like this. I like this choice for Super Noobs. Let's see if Horsemen get into that base capture, or if they're really just faking it out, because when you show your tank list, you might make your opponent think that you're doing one thing and then you just do something totally different. But it looks like they are going for it. They're moving right into the center of the map now, very quickly. They're about to enter that zone. Here they come. The Conquerors are there. This is very similar to what we saw, except with the SI tanks or the STI tanks in the previous game, or the previous, versus Karen Tiger, the Tiebreaker map. Here we go. 3 tanks in there. The E100 to back it up. Same exact strategy. Let's see if Super Noobs can counter it.
Oh gosh, here we go. Base capture is down. 25 seconds already. You're right, this is exactly the same.
Like, I'm having deja vu right now. If those Conquerors were STI tanks, it'd be like literally the same. Now, Sunbow is going to be trying to answer for this and punish this hard with that tank destroyer.
Oh, wow. Ironhide took a bit of damage there. They've chunked in a little bit. 6 seconds left.
They need to hit Gorilla. He's the most exposed. Okay.
Yep, they do. They hit all... No, not Archon, though.
Okay. Looks like Horsemen are really going to commit to this, which can be the downside of a strategy like this. Oh, Spencer!
Oh, Gorilla goes down there. Sunbow is able to get rid of him.
And Spencer doesn't kill Ironhide. Not yet anyways. He wants to, but he gets scared because Anti-Lock is on the hunt. He's coming.
And Anti-Lock is scary, I've got to say. Spencer only has 1 round left.
This is going to be just a straight-up destruction.
Oh, gosh. Off-screen, Ricky does take Dark DH Master out. Yep, there we go. Anti-Lock kills Spencer away.
Goes into insta-reload. And right now, the hit point's only 1,000 difference, but it's 7v4.
Oh, yep. Super Noobs definitely did watch the game beforehand. Ricky does go down.
That's a new record. He went down to 2 health. As soon as we see a tank on 1 health, we'll know there could no longer be the record broken. But we're gonna see now Tang moving through actually to challenge Archon.
Yeah.
Sunbow's reloaded so he can actually blow him up
Off
here.
screen, we saw the last go down. Sunbow, yep, he's probably gonna explode. Ooh, misses that first hit though, hit quite a bit. He's gonna use the shells of his fallen comrades to hide, but doesn't really help him much.
All right, well, None getting blown up from behind now. Down he goes. Feluso, the last man standing. See if he can do better than Gorilla on that Skillet tank.
I don't know, I feel like Super Noobs definitely knew what to expect. Horsemen, like you said, they played exactly the same as they did versus Karen Tiger here, but they weren't lucky this time around. Feluso goes down. Super Noobs will take the third win.
Antilock takes a nosedive off of that platform before we end the game.
It was a celebratory, like it was just like a celebration nosedive.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this is like why every time we talk about, oh, they just watch their matches, what could they learn? Because we have double headers, so we talk about this a lot this season, a little bit different from last season. With all these double headers, one team has time to look and say, this is exactly how Horsemen played earlier.
Yeah.
They're probably going to play similarly. They build a composition that counters it. They come together and counter it with their Conquerors resetting the base capture. They surrounded that area, whereas we saw Karen Tiger struggle to surround, couldn't get in there in time, then had to like force their way in. They lost too many hit points. Ended up being a really close game with Karen Tigers anyway. But yeah, I mean, Horsemen basically played the exact same strategy, and this is why we talk about it's important that they, that you get actually into the finals of this match instead of being in the semis where, then you have to play a whole extra game or a whole extra best of 9. Everyone can study how you're playing on those maps, and with how the maps are being played and how we have 4 maps each time now, there's a high chance that the maps that you're going to play on, there's like a huge overlap with them.
Yep. What you gotta say?
Yeah, like last season, there's a high chance there was not going to be an overlap because there's so many different maps and we only saw 2 and then maybe 3 on a tiebreaker.
So, sides are switched now.
Sides are switched.
It'd be really funny if Super Noobs decide to do the exact same strategy.
That would be pretty meta. That would be like kind of a diss almost. I think if they do that. I don't think they will though.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
if you
possible.
want to psych them out, I mean, that might be a good way to go.
It's still possible.
All right, both teams have signaled. I can speak English, guys. I swear. English is my second language, after all.
Yeah.
Technically.
This
is my primary language, but it's still my second one. It looks like Ghost Town is loaded. Let's head into the next game. All right, set number 6, Super Noobs versus Horsemen. Super Noobs up 3 games, Horsemen's 2. And it is now Super Noobs' turn to attack on Ghost Town.
Tank lineups are the same except we got a bat shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even had that last game. It was not really. Yeah, we did, actually. No.
Yeah, we did.
Was
it was Spencer versus NT-Lock on the 2 bat shots.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a 50B or a bat shot because NT-Lock likes his 50Bs. But yeah, you're right. I remember now because he did kill Spencer with all those rounds. It was a bat shot. You're right. So same lineups. The copy paste. I'm going to call that for next season. I'm just going to start calling it the copy-paste when both teams just do the same lineup. Because I know they're copy-pasting. I've seen it in the chat.
Yeah.
I know they do that. Makes it easier. Got to write in a different language, too, some of these guys. Like, not writing the tank list out in Vietnamese, so you got to keep that copied. Not writing that out in Chinese, you got to keep that copied.
Yep. All right. Well, right now we could see that it's definitely different movement from the last game. We have the 215Bs over on the Horseman side, packing together.
Yeah, well, Super Noobs looks like they just want to win this game by elim. They're just kind of building the same comp because I think they expect the Horsemen to do the same thing, and their composition is still strong versus Horsemen's, but they're not just going to run in and attack with it because the 215B lineup doesn't work for that. Look at how this works, actually. They've rotated full circle now, like to where they would be, basically where they were defending last game with their Conquerors, now on the attack.
Horsemen going to cut through the base capture area, see if they could catch off Super Noobs off guard. You're right, it does look like Super Noobs want to win by elimination.
Those E100s are scary, but they're both on reload.
Oh, Spencer from afar taking a little bit of damage. Doing a little bit of damage, rather. Gorilla as well.
Okay, Gorilla taking some damage. They're rotating really well with these 215Bs to make sure they're always able to fire and that they are protecting each other. Good trades actually so far for for Horsemen. Okay, even better now. And those E100s are starting to get into a really scary place where they could actually finish these tanks off. Ooh, Sambo's going for it.
I was going to say, Sambo's getting some great shots there. Whoa, 2198 on
He actually just solos Colin.
Oh my god.
He empties his rounds but gets a kill. This is kind of like what we saw last game with the Batshat battle. All right, this is a huge lead now for Super Noobs.
Yep, Super Noobs just one by one. Yeah, you're right. They wanted to win this round by elimination. They knew that trying to get a base capture was not going to work on them, and they're straight up outplaying the Horsemen right now.
Wow, really good plays here. I'm like really impressed with how Super Noobs. I'll say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think they are literally the smartest team in this tournament.
All right, Dark DH. Going to be the next one to explode, or maybe it's Archon. I don't even know. Everyone's going to die.
Luso is trying to rush to the front of the line on death too. He's down really low and is running up to the front. We even had like a part of the building cover the top of the screen there.
Like everyone's just gonna die. And yep, there goes Archon. Faluso is last man standing with 79 HP.
Can he kill Sunbow before he reloads?
No! Sunbow being that MVP. Oh, and now they start the beast capture. Because, you know, it's important.
It's important. Ruinberg is going to be our next map, Susie. It could be the last map. Now, if the Horsemen are able to take 2 wins in a row, we will go to Mines, our tiebreaker map. But they have to, they have to win those 2 games. If a single set goes to Super Noobs at this point, the series is over.
Yeah. Wow. This is it. This is it. I can't believe our entire season is just about over.
Yeah, funny thing is, when we added the tier 10 tanks, everything slowed down. We went up to 10-minute timers, and it felt like the season had a bit of a slow start to me. Like I was like, we're learning everything again. You know, we're learning this new meta. The teams are learning too, so it wasn't just us like last season. And then we get to the end of it, and I feel like it's kind of sad because I feel like the teams finally got it. I finally got. I'm like, everything's like everything. We were all together.
Everything just kind of came together, and now it's like.
And now it's like it's over. I'm like, oh.
Time to say goodbye. Oh.
So, yeah, we'll see.
I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, but we still have another game. Hey, we still have Ruinberg, and this could be the very last last game that we cast here for the Gold Series before the finals. Of course, it's going to be EL Gaming plus the winner of this matchup. Those 2 teams are going to go ahead and play against the winner of Korea region and the winner of China. I think it hasn't been determined just yet who's playing who is playing whom.
Yeah, who is playing whom.
Yes. And but we'll get to that. I'm sure it'll be on the Wargaming website once everything is determined, and then, you know, come finals. That's going to be exciting. Then the 2 winners of that will head to the grand finals in Warsaw, Poland. That's going to be early April. So
that's going to be awesome. That was great last year, and you know, we got to see EL actually triumph quite far into that tournament, getting to the finals. And who knows how far they could go this time, because they are really good.
Everyone, you know, when just having an Asian team go up there. I mean, I know a lot of Tanks fans.
Asian teams aren't that good. I don't know. I'm like, okay, well,
EL
did you watch last year? Did you watch last season of
I'm like
Asia?
totally defending our region. This is the best region.
Did you watch one game of EL? Oh, I didn't see. I don't know, but they're the worst.
Nope.
Okay, Reddit. Okay, Twitch chat. Okay, YouTube chat. Okay, Twitter. All right, do some research.
No, but in all seriousness, it's really been a great season so far.
You know what's crazy, Susie, is we're actually having our potentially last, like, it's probably going to be our last map, unless we go to Tiebreaker. It's going to be the map that has to force us into Tiebreaker.
And it's the map that we
saw the least. It's Ruinberg. So it all comes down to a map that was popular last season, a map that actually 3 teams I think like the most, Run, TCSG, and Horsemen. These 3 teams really like this map. And Horsemen is now playing on a map they were really strong on last season, but we have very rarely even seen it in play this season. And defense goes to Super Noobs. Horsemen is on the attack. They have to win both games in order to force that tiebreaker. So
Horsemen definitely have a lot here to play for. I mean,
looks like Faluso actually might have had they might have written down the sides wrong because he was confused. He's like, no, we're on defense first. And the mod actually posted his own chat where he selected attack back to him, so it looks like he knows now.
Yeah.
He just got confused, which is scary. Like, this is a really stressful situation. They've got to win both 2 more games. And he's like, wait, I thought we were on the defense first. And it's like,
yeah.
starting
So
to get
now that
stressed.
everything's cleared up, they're going to choose the tanks that they want for the side that they're playing on.
Yeah.
Because that confusion is that's pretty bad. But I guess now we have a little more time to talk. But, you know, I want to say thanks to you guys who have been supporting us. I know in the beginning we had a very rough start, and a lot of people were very critical, but very glad that it worked out in the end. And
really, we really love you guys. I feel like I never see any of you, but I know you're all out there listening to me. Like, and I really appreciate that you guys tune in and watch this, because this has been like a really fun experience for me.
Yeah.
Both of these seasons I've done with you, Susie, and
it's been a good ride. It's definitely been a lot of fun here. And you know, as we come to a close, this 2015-2016 season 2, you know, as we head into the grand finals, who's going to represent us and our region? These are like our babies, Wolf.
yeah. I feel like it's like the end of summer camp right now or something. You just start to get that awkward feeling of like, I'm not going to see these people again for a long time.
That's how I feel. All right, guys. Looks like we're going to get on to Ruinberg, and it is match point. Let's get into the next game. All right, guys, set number 7. Super Noobs versus Horsemen. Super Noobs at match point. Horsemen with 2 wins. They're the ones who are going to be on the attack. And if I spend summer camp on Ruinberg, I'd be totally okay with that.
Nice map. You know, gets a bit.
Yeah, it's a 2-1-5B party.
Yeah, 2 and 5 Bs. So before we start talking about Ruinberg too much, let's talk about these tanks. 4 2 and 5 Bs, an Object 140, a Bat Shat, and a 5100 Classic. Bringing it back. And Super Noobs running 2 2 and 5 Bs, an IS-4, that Waffen again, an Object 140, and a TVP and RU-251. That lineup could not be more diverse.
Oh gosh, look at all those tanks just traveling together as a pack. Horsemen traveling as a pack, because you know that's what horses do.
Looks like with the lineup of 215Bs, Super Noobs just really wants to avoid fighting early. They want to just burn the clock. Look at their position. They almost like went and hid off the side of the map. Now we do see them kind of setting up. NT-Lock is going to be the scouter here. When Heian is coming in as well.
Yeah, Horsemen need to win this if they want to stay in the game here. But
oh
yeah,
my God,
Ricky.
Susie! I think they're going to rush the capture point,
No.
like old times, like last season.
No way.
I think they're going to do it. They're actually running into it right now. 2 and 5
I
Bs.
am so scared for them. Colin already half HP right now, and Super Noobs are in a perfect position to be able to stop this. 4 tanks in this base capture.
This is just like what we saw last season, and I think the Super Noobs know just how to handle this. Meanwhile, the 5100 goes down across the map. They're trying to actually kill those Super Noob tanks while they're distracted.
They definitely are, and that's what they're trying to do over on the other side of the map, as we saw in the picture-in-picture. Now, what's going on over here is the question. Super Noobs already down a tank.
Yeah, NT-Lock is out of rounds, and it looks like his reloader, his ammo rack is broken. It's taking him a long time to reload that TVP. And Faluso is now trying to come and hunt him down with Gorilla.
Oh gosh, it's going to be a brawl right in town.
Looks like they're going to leave 1215B in the base capture to add that extra threat. He can also fire from there, given the topography here.
All right, well, that was reset. I think at this point, yeah, Super Noobs, if they want to win this, they need to just be patient, not get too flustered, and play this out in the smart method that they know how to do.
Yeah.
Oh, NT-Lock finally has his round.
Oh my God,
wow,
Ricky. How much health does he have? 5. Okay, I thought we had a new record. No.
Colin goes down. Each of Horsemen are now dropping like flies. Look at the perfect positioning of the Super Noobs.
This is such a risk to go for a strategy like this. Horsemen went balls to the wall on this one, and it's just not going to be enough. NT-Lock does finally get taken out here, but Nun and Dark DH are actually blocking each other from retreat.
Yep, there's nothing that they can do here. Ricky and Tang, they're going to try to finish off Nun as they can.
Good rotation there to keep each other safe. Very well done. Dark DH is dead now. Nun is on reload. Archon is dead.
He's going to sit there, but Hien from on the other side, he gets rid of him, even though he was trying to to capture that base.
None goes down, and Super Noobs. They're coming to Korea, Susie.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Super Noobs going to join EL Gaming, and they're going to come to the finals sometime next month, I believe.
That's right. And, you know, I'd say most people expected it all along. It would be these two teams after our first few weeks, but Horsemen really giving them a run for their money.
They definitely did.
And also Karen Tiger showing up, you know, after they were told incorrectly they weren't even going to be there. Then they showed up and nearly beat Horsemen. A great playoff. Really awesome.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at the results for tonight. So, we had, like we said, Horsemen versus Karen Tiger going all the way to a tiebreaker. Horsemen finally beating them on Ghost Town and getting ready for match number 2. Then it was Horsemen versus Super Noobs. Again, playing their hearts out, but Super Noobs showing us that they are a very smart team. They were fully prepared for what Horsemen had to bring, and they win 5-2.
Tough night for Horsemen, but you know, there's always next season. They will stay in Gold Series, and I think they're just going to get better and better.
Absolutely. I can see that if they keep this lineup and they just keep working with it, I think they definitely have a shot at being even closer to the top. I mean, I guess there's only second and first place left for them, but...
No, that's right. Well, it's been a great, you know, regular season. We got all the way to the playoffs. We had really fun round-robin matches, and here we are. We now know who's coming. All the online tournament is over.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Summer camp is over. Keep in touch, everyone. Let's,
tweet at us. I know, actually, we haven't really talked about our Twitters all this season.
Yeah.
I'm Proxy Wolf. She's Lil Susie. Do hit us up, because we'd love to hear from you guys, even in the off-season.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you guys in Twitch chat and whatnot have lots of words of criticism for us. But if it will make us any better for you, then absolutely, please hit us up. Like we said, Lil Susie. And this is Proxy Wolf. And so, yeah, that's the result for tonight. It's going to be Super Noobs and EL Gaming headed to the finals for APAC-ASIA. That's the end of the Gold Series.
Yeah, that's it for Season 2. And that's going to be it for us.
That's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for watching all season long. And hopefully we will see you guys again. But if we don't, please take care and keep playing tanks. Have a very good night.